I start with the roll call now.
So
The
you
Republic of...
read the motion to begin the session before.
So first you need to
Are
ask.
there any motions on the floor? Delegates, do we have any motions on the floor? Yes, Republic of South Africa.
Delegate of South Africa would like to raise the motion to commence the session for today.
All right, so now we start with the voting. Do we have any other motions on the floor? Delegates, please vote for or against the motion. Delegate of United States of America. Kindly vote. So with 100% yes votes, the motion passes. Now we shall begin with the attendance. Delegate of Republic of Indonesia. Delegate of the Republic of Indonesia.
Hello.
Yes, we can hear you.
What, ma'am?
Delegate of the Republic of Indonesia. Is there a technical error? Okay, we'll get back to you. Delegate of the Russian Federation.
Present and voting.
Delegate of the Republic of Fiji.
Present and voting.
Delegate of the Republic of South Africa.
Present and voting.
Delegate of the Republic of Korea.
Present and voting.
Delegate of the Republic of Albania.
Present and voting.
Delegate of the Delegate of the Kingdom of Thailand.
Present and voting.
Delegate of the Socialist Republic of Vietnam.
Present and voting.
Delegate of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Present and voting.
Delegate of the Kingdom of Sweden.
Present and voting.
Delegate of the United Kingdom.
Present and voting.
Delegate of the United States of America.
Present and voting.
Delegate of the Federal Democratic Republic of Nepal.
Present and voting.
All right, thank you.
Could we please know the voting stances, moderator? Moderator, are you there?
Yes, co-chair. We have 13 votes for present and voting. So,
So I guess director has something to add upon this. Director, you may have the floor.
I guess Delegate of Republic of Philippines just joined the session, so let's continue to accept a roll call of him, and we can just before we begin to take other motions on the floor, let's all turn on the camera and take a screenshot, and moderator can proceed towards the session to take motions on the floor. Is that all right?
Yes, the delegate of Indonesia has mentioned it as present and voting. So we have 14 present and voting as per the information. Am I correct, moderator?
yes, co-chair.
And then also mentioned it as present and voting. So we have 14 present and voting and no present.
So we need 7 votes to pass any motion. Okay.
So there has been motion proposed by director in order to turn on our video cam and take a screenshot. If you feel like you are feasible with it, please tick mark as
Excuse me,
yes.
co-chair.
Yes, director. Yes.
I believe the delegate of the Republic, sorry, I believe, excuse me, wait. I believe the delegate of the Republic of Philippines has just joined us. So, should we include her?
Yes, you need to. You need to. The delegate has mentioned the voting stance in the chat section as present and voting.
So, the total is now 15, and the minimum number of votes required is 8.
Okay, thank you very much,
Thank
moderator.
you.
So there has been a motion proposed by director to turn on our video cams and go for a screenshot. If you feel like you are feasible turning on your video cam, then please vote as yes, including moderator as well as director. And if you feel like you are not comfortable with it, you may go for no. But remember, majority wins, and if we have majority number of yes, then we have to turn on our video cams and have a screenshot for a moment. That might take a couple of seconds. So delegate of United Kingdom, delegate of Russian Federation, so we just have chair joining the session. So chair, you are requested to turn on your video cam as per said by the organizing committee. So I request the OC members to turn on their video cams too, so that it will be feasible in order to give a shout out in the social media. So the Republic of Indonesia, we don't share voting stances. So I think moderator is not comfortable turning on the video cam. She has not voted yet. So I have seen. So the floor is up to you, director. We have majority voting as yes.
So the motion clearly passes. So delegates, I request everyone to turn on your cameras for a couple of seconds so that I can have a clear screenshot of every one of you. I can see the OC members turning on their camera. Moderator.
And the Kingdom of Sweden, Socialist Republic of Vietnam.
It will take just a few seconds, so please turn on your camera. Sneha. please turn on your camera?
So he's the other OC member as well who has not turned the video camera on yet.
Despite of turning on the camera, I can see the face of chair.
So it feels so good to see these happy faces after a day of conversation.
Did we miss our chair?
I think she just got disconnected. Are we waiting for her? I think we need to.
Yeah. Let's wait a few
So,
minutes.
let's stare at each other's faces for a moment because we'll not get this again and again, I guess.
Yeah, you guys have been debating for ages, so you should see each and everyone's faces to be familiar
So
with
that
everyone.
even if you encounter on the way, then you have to remember the delegate of Sweden, the delegate of Russian Federation. This will be an amazing moment to recall the memories. So we don't have delegate of Vietnam turning on the camera for now. But it feels great to see the enthusiasm within this delegates. Yes, Director?
Yeah. Delegate of Nepal?
Yes.
Fine. Now the faces seem so similar and familiar. So
This is the main drawback of a virtual MUN. You talk with the people for hours and hours, but you don't even recognize their faces.
So if you are comfortable, you can just turn on your camera during the session as well, so that you can just watch each other and get more familiar. Let's all take a screenshot now, because we will take another screenshot after our chair joins. So let's all take a screenshot now. Okay. Republic of South Africa, I guess. The video is all black. So do you have any proper lighting so that you will be visible? Okay, no problem. Okay, everyone say cheese. Okay. Thank you. Your photo is all done. I will just
capturing our happy moment.
Yeah, this is all our happy moment. I will just send it to you in Viber. Okay. Thank you everyone for cooperation. So we can now begin with the session. So moderator, all up to you.
So is the director sharing the screen today?
Yeah, sure, I'm sharing the screen.
So okay, I think we have the list of GSL that has been not completed yesterday.
Delegate of Vietnam was remained yesterday.
So are there any motions on the floor, delegates? Delegates? Are there any motions on the floor? Yes, delegate of Nepal.
The delegate of Federal Democratic Republic of Nepal would like to set agenda on tackling AMR and securing future from superbug.
So, delegate, you were supposed to raise a motion for general speaker list before we move into a moderated caucus. So, are there any other motions on the floor? Yes, delegate of Russian Federation.
Delegate of Russian Federation would like to start general speaker list.
State a motion to begin general speaker list. Thank you, delegate. Are there any other motions on the floor? As we take 3 motions at once, we just have 2. So the dais member is expecting 1 more motion from you people. Are there any motions on the floor? Seeing none, let's proceed towards the motion that has been proposed by delegate of Albania.
The delegate of Albania wants to raise a motion to resume general speaker list.
Okay, to resume general speaker list. Thank you, delegate. So for now, let's vote for the motion that has been raised by delegate of Albania. Delegate voting for the motion, please tick mark as yes. The delegate voting against the motion, please tick mark as no. Delegates, please be quick. Delegate of Philippines, we don't see your voting stances displayed. So we have majority of you people voting for yes and no votes for no. That's amazing, delegate. This motion clearly passes. We have delegate of Vietnam remaining from yesterday general speaker list. So I'd like to request the director to place it as speaker 1, delegate of Vietnam. So delegate of Albania, would you like to register your name in the general speaker list?
Yes, sure.
So speaker 2 as Albania. So other delegates willing to register their name in general speaker list, please raise your hand. Delegate of Korea as speaker 3. Director, yes. Delegate of Korea as speaker 3, followed by delegate of Nepal. So you may re-register your name in general speaker list as much as you want. So please be active while raising your hand. Delegates willing to add their name in general speaker list, please raise your hand. Delegate of Fiji. Delegate of Fiji. That much for now. So I'd like to request director to add me as a co-host so that it will be easier for me to familiar with the vote, seeing the voting stances. So seeing no further hands raised, we would like to give the floor to delegate of Vietnam for 90 seconds. So please wait until the director displays the screen sharing. Yes, delegate of Vietnam, are you there?
Yes, Chair, I'm here.
You may have the floor for 90 seconds.
Okay, thank you, Chair. Very good morning to all of my fellow delegates. Today, I will be proceeding to my speech. Sorry, the delegate of Vietnam would like to proceed in the speech. And on the World Health Day 2011, WHO chose the drug resistance prevention slogan as "No action today, no cure tomorrow," and urged the nations to have timely plan to deal with the drug resistance. And seeing this, along with this UN contribution for the recognition of AMR as next global pandemic has been a successful stride for creating awareness and control the situation in hand. But with continuous increment of resistance in microbials, there's a strong need of action now. So Vietnam encourages other countries to develop national action plans as well and work accordingly with the organizations like CDC, WHO, and FAO to conduct national surveillance through various strategies such as class, provided by the UN on availability, accessibility, and utilization of antibiotics and their uses. Not only this, Vietnam also encourages the multi-sectorial approach aided by the international support for the proper initial investigation, diagnosis of the situation, and finally support them with plans and policies as a necessity in every country for the awareness and control to combat AMR. Thank you.
Thank you very much, delegate. We may have delegate of Albania. You may have the floor for 90 seconds.
A very good morning to all of the delegates. So I would like to give general definition of antimicrobials. Antimicrobials are generally the medicine that are used to prevent and treat infection in humans, animals, and plants, which include antibiotics, antifungals, antivirals, and antiparasites. So antimicrobial resistance occurs when bacteria, virus, fungi, and parasitic changes over time and no longer responses to medicine, and it may cause harder to treat and increasing the risk of disease spread, several illness and health. The Republic of Albania has shown a greater concern on this issue. It has conducted a survey in November 2016, which used a questionnaire from the WHO antibiotic illness. As the Republic of Albania feels that AMR issue is a complex problem that requires a united multi-sectoral approach. The One Health approach brings together multiple sectors and stakeholders engaged in humans, terrestrial and aquatic animals and plant health, food and feed production, and the environment to communicate and work together in a design and implementation of program, policies, legislation, and research to attain better public health outcomes. Also, greater innovation and investment is required in operational research and development of new antimicrobial medicine vaccine. Empowering diagnostic microbiology, laboratories, safe and pure drinking water, proper sanitary practice, awareness to the local people about the use of antibiotics, and optimizing the use of antimicrobial agents helps to reduce the risks of AMR. Thank you.
So, delegate, as you kept speaking, even the time was lapsed. If you feel like you could not complete your speech, you may add your name in general speaker list via chat or by mentioning it as a point of personal privilege. Do you wish to add your name in the general speaker list again, delegate of Albania?
No.
Okay, thank you very much. Please refrain your speech within the time period for next time. So for now, are there any motions on the floor, delegates? Delegates, are there any motions on the floor? So if you feel like we need to suspend the general speaker list and propose a moderated caucus, this is the time. While I ask you for the motions, are there any motions on the floor? Seeing none, let's proceed towards the general speaker list that we have displayed on the screen. Delegate of Republic of Korea, you may have the floor for 90 seconds.
Okay, thank you. The delegate of Republic of Korea would like to proceed. According to the source of Clinical Microbiology Review 2011, more than 30 years void in discovery of new types of antibiotics. This clearly indicates the different antibiotics we are using are already resistant or on a way to resist. Considering this fact, Republic of Korea has set a national strategic plan on antimicrobial resistance for the term 2016 to 2020, which is now conducting a research to develop the choreo antibiotics in the substitution of antimicrobials like penicillin, which cause the antimicrobial resistance due to long-term use. The research has been undertaken for the review of antibiotic resistance against 11 kinds of different bacteria, including E. coli, Streptococcus pneumonia, and Mycobacterium tuberculosis in National Reference Laboratory. And it was also found that the resistance was remarkably high in antibiotics such as penicillin, which was developed a long time ago and used for a long time. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Delegate. You have 15 seconds remaining. How would you like to yield the time?
The delegate of Republic of Korea would like to yield the time for asking the question at the last.
Could you please repeat it again?
The delegate of Republic of Korea would like to yield the time for asking the question at the last for myself.
So you are open for questions?
Yeah.
So delegates, do you have any questions to the delegate of Republic of Korea? You may raise point of information at this time. As the delegate has mentioned, she is open for the question. Please raise your hand if you feel like you are in need to ask question to delegate. This is the chance, delegate. Come on. Seeing no hands raised. Yes, delegate of United Kingdom.
As a highly developed country in field of science and technology, what has the country done to help prevent AMR in a global situation?
Okay. Perfect question. Yeah. The Republic of Korea is highly developed countries, and more than 99% of people living in Korea are literate. So, considering this fact, the Republic of Korea had set a research to develop the new vaccines and quorum sensing inhibitors which can replace the antibiotics. Now they are proceeding the research on the particular field so that they can tackle the AMR and reduce the ongoing increasement in AMR. This is all. Thank you.
Thank you very much, delegate. Yes, delegate of Republic of Fiji.
As delegate of Korea mentioned that since 2016 to 2020 there is a plan going on. What if? Hope it will work, but what if it do not work? Then are there some future plans?
Yeah, of course. The Republic of Korea has set some budget specifically for tackling the AMR. So the budget is going to work on further research and programs that will work on decreasing the AMR, which is like prevalent in Korea, because most of the people living in Korea, they suffer from digestive diseases because of the highly intake spicy food. So for now, Korean government is literally focused on this particular area and working on it. So after 2020 also, they will be working on this project. If they would not be if they would not be able to complete their research on establishing or in forming the new vaccines against antibiotics. Thank you.
Thank you very much, delegates. So, delegates, are you done with the working paper that you were planning to prepare yesterday? I guess the initiative was taken by Delegate of United Kingdom. So, could you please brief us about what's happening with the working paper? Do we have Delegate of United Kingdom?
Yes. So the working paper is still in progress.
So, do you think that we need to give a session again on how to draft a working paper, or shall we continue with the committee session itself? So, delegates, if you feel like you need a session on how to draft a working paper again, then please tick mark as yes. And if you feel like no, that is not needed now, then please tick mark as no. Yes, Delegate of Republic of Fiji.
Co-chair, actually, we all plan to work on a single paper, and discuss that we will the one who spoke on the particular moderated caucus, we will just edit there and we will write what we have told on the moderated caucus. So that working paper is in progress accordingly.
So remember that your working paper has to be mailed to the DICE member. So please don't do any delay while drafting a working paper. So if you feel like you are in need of a session on how to draft a working paper today as well, then please tick mark as yes. If you feel like no, that is not necessary, please tick mark as no, so that we can move towards the committee session now. Delegates, I'm waiting for your vote. Please be quick. So it is not compulsory for you to add sponsors on your working paper, but if you feel like there has been a dilemma of doing it, you may do that as well. I expect to get the working paper by tonight, mailed it to us. So we have 3 voting for yes and 7 voting for no. So we have 2 votes for yes and 8 votes for no.
Vice Chair?
Yes, Ali, yes.
Is it okay if I take the lead here?
Sure, Chair.
Okay, so delegates, I hope, like, I know you don't want a session on the working paper, but working paper चाहिने usually MUN मा there is no format per se, हैन. Working paper भनेको delegate ले आफै creative भएर moderator caucus लाई कसरी you want to take it in which direction भनेर लेख्ने कुरा हो. But then it depends on the dais members how they would want the committee to go. In this MUN, I would want you to make a working paper which would more or less look like a resolution. Obviously, त्यसमा clauses लेख्न पर्दैन, तर you have to list the problems and solutions so that हजुरहरूले resolution draft गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ नि you don't have a problem. अनि रह्यो कुरा sponsors को, this is again an added bonus points for those who take the lead, हैन. If you want to get an award, you become a sponsor. If you also want to get an award, you become a signatory. तर since working paper मा signatory भन्ने हुँदैन, we would want you to put sponsors so that we know कि कसले lead लिइराको छ and who is lacking back. अब sponsors कतिजना हाल्ने त भन्दाखेरि एकजनाले एउटा working paper नबनाउनुस्, so that we can see that there are blocks forming भनेको जस्तो पनि हामीलाई होस्. Block form भयो भने मैले अस्ति भने जस्तो we can know who is active in the committee. एकजनाले एउटा working paper बनायो भनेपछि हामीले working paper मा individual marking भन्ने हुँदैन. You work as a team working paper मा. So have 3 sponsors maximum and 2 sponsors minimum in the working paper. Ani I know you don't want a session on the working paper, तर यो हजुरहरूले गरेको moderated caucus अहिलेसम्म कतिवटा धेरै नम्बरमा हजुरहरूले गरिसक्नु भयो. So I guess I would want you to have 5 मिनेटको एउटा session on working paper so that even the okay, co-chair has told me you could have said this yesterday. But co-chair, I think it's important that they know this early because yesterday it was just a beginner session. I guess right now they're more familiar with the ROPs and everything else. So I'll just give you a briefing. GSL ke beech ma bhaye pani I think this session is necessary because MUN teamwork is obviously the most important thing. So I'll just be giving you a brief session matre. I'll not take long. So okay, is my screen visible? Anyone if you can unmute and say.
Yes.
Yes, sure. So okay, so your visible छ. So working paper ko your title हुनु पर्छ. There's always supposed to be a name because draft resolution मा पनि you'll see a name in your title. You can add working paper ABC or working paper 2.0, any name you like. Sponsors, yes, you have to put so that we know who has made the working paper. Ani yes, जसले moderated caucus मा बोलेको छैन त्यसले working paper नबनाउनु is also one of the rules. तर since it's a beginners committee and many of you might shy away from speaking, you can be a part of the working paper and give your solutions because orally many of you might not be good. The written way वेमा कसैको स्ट्रङ हुन सक्छ सो वर्किङ पेपरले हजुरको राइटिङ क्यापेसिटी कति छ भनेर पनि मेजर गर्ने हो so if you would want if you have better solutions you can always contribute to Google Docs ma gaera and if you want to have signatories you can always opt for signatories because lead leko haile sponsors hune ho but if you're not taking the lead but you still want your solution in the working paper tapaihharu signatory basta huncha so you have to obviously write the agenda so that DAS members त्यो evaluate गर्न it will be more feasible हैन अब यहाँ अर्को कुरा I've mentioned is moderated caucus भनेर अब moderated caucus को टपिक्सहरु चाहिँ नि हजुरहरुले सर र अब अहिलेसम्म 5 6 कतिवटा moderated caucus भयो त्यो सबैको टपिकहरु चाहिँ नि हजुरहरुले सर र लेखिदिनु भयो भने 1 2 3 4 कतिवटा भयो it will be easier for us to evaluate you अब अर्को भनेको हजुरले any topic you raise is comprised of problems or solutions so resolution paper ma pani हामीले यसरी problems or solutions भनेर लेखिराको हुन्छौं so again you can write the problem so you can list the problems there and you can list the solutions simultaneously it will be easier for us to evaluate you on the basis of what kinds of problem you've brought of course there's a working paper ma committee session ma naboleko kura lekhna paइदैन तर then again if you have better solutions which you have mentioned in your position paper कसैले आफ्नो country को stances दिँदा position paper मा लेखेको कुराहरु छ भने you can always opt for writing the solutions down है अनि अर्को कुरा भनेको हजुरहरुले प्रब्लम्सहरु लिस्ट गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ नि you always have to be cumulative of that list मात्रै नगरिकन why is this a problem भन्ने कुरा पनि you have to write यहाँ obviously यो bullets मा दिएको छ तर since it's your first time I would advise you to write यो problem छ तर किन पनि यो problem हो त अहिलेको stance मा भन्ने कुरा पनि explain गरेर एउटा bullet चाहिँ नि 2-3 lines को होस् so that it's well explained अनि solutions दिँदा पनि subsets हरु राखेर you can write your solutions अब यहाँ I छ भने I को मुनि A भन्ने sub point थपेर you can always make it creative अनि अब यो अलि formatted छ it's also because we want you to learn a bit more अब यहाँ point number 12 मा you can see role of IOM भनेर sub points हरु दिएको छ so यसरी नै you have to mention all of the things about working paper so I want you to send me the working paper अब unmoderated caucus लिएर हुन्छ कि if you want to work it on your own after 2 PM and send it to us by 6 PM evening अथवा session भित्रै unmoderated caucus लिएर if you want to do the working paper that's fine हैन that's upon you तर आज 6 PM भित्र चाहिँ नि I want you guys to send me एउटा working paper not एउटा working paper from the entire committee एउटा ग्रुप 3 जनाले एउटा अर्को 3 जनाले अर्को गरेर अफ कोर्स कमिटीबाट कति 3-4 वटा वर्किङ पेपर निक्लिन सक्छ भने the more the merrier 3 जनाले एउटा बनाउनुस् of course the signatories जसले points हरु contribute गरिराख्नु भएको छ you can always contribute the points to both the parties blocks हरु form भएको छ भने यदि भएको छैन भने you can make one working paper which should be very good एउटा बनाउनु भएको छ भने we expect it to be near to perfect तर अब दुईटा तीनटा छ भने अलिकति glitches हरु पनि that will be taken into account अब अर्को भनेको हजुरहरुलाई अब if you have any questions regarding working paper मा के हाल्ने कसरी लेख्ने if any questions छ भने अहिले सोधिहाल्नुस् because once it's 6 PM afternoon if you don't mail it to the organizers को email मा that's going to be sad news right so if you have any questions you may raise your hand अहिले and then you can ask me
एकचोटी फेरि भन्दिनु न एकचोटी फेरि
sorry के कुरा
त्यो वर्किङ पेपरको अघि त्यो जुन स्लाइड देखाउनु भयो त्यो फेरि देखाउनु त
ए वेट ओके म फेरि स्क्रिन शेयर गर्छु So besides that अरु के क्वेशन्स हरु छ भने प्लिज डु आस्क अहिले नै So अलिकति body formatted भए पनि I guess it will be more beneficial for you because first timers हरुलाई you need to be more detailed but as you do more MUNs it would not be more detailed besides that अरु कुनै क्वेशन्स हरु छ सो अब हजुरहरूले मोसन्स रेज गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ नि डु ट्राई टु ब्रिङ अप अब कन्क्रिट खालको सल्युसन्स होइन वी सुड डु दिस वी सुड डु द्याट भन्दा पनि हाउ र वाइ भन्ने क्वेसन्सहरू पनि एड्रेस गर्नु होला बिकज रियलिस्टिक सल्युसन्स आर मोर नेसेसरी वर्किङ पेपर अथवा रेजोल्युसन ड्राफ्ट गर्न हामीले अहिलेसम्म जे जे गरिरहेको छौँ त्यो सबै लाइक इट्स अल फर द वर्किङ पेपर र रेजोल्युसन होइन सो अब चाहिँ नि एकदम बुलेट्समा कसरी चाहिँ नि गर्न मिल्छ दिएको सल्युसन्सहरूलाई इम्प्लिमेन्टेसन त गर्ने तर कसरी गर्ने कुन अर्गनाइजेसनले इम्प्लिमेन्ट गर्छ अनि त्यो इम्प्लिमेन्ट भएको कुराहरू कसले मोनिटर गर्छ त अनि मोनिटर गरेको जुन रिपोर्ट्सहरू आउँछ त्यो कसले इभ्यालुएट गर्छ यो एभ्रिथिङ चेन अफ फ्याक्ट्स चाहिँ नि हजुरहरूले मजाले यु हेभ टु रेज टपिक्स फर मोडरेटेड ककस अनि साइमल्टेनियसली किप एक्सप्लेनिङ द थिङ्स है सो भिजिबल छ स्क्रिन मेरो
Yes,
सो अब अरू केही क्वेसन यस अरू केही क्वेसन्सहरू छ सो यसरी प्रब्लम सल्युसन्स भनेर लिस्ट गर्नु अनि पछि रेजोल्युसन ड्राफ्ट गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ टक्क यो प्रब्लम्स भनेको यो जुन अनपेड जब्स कट अफ कोर्ट केसेस अन होल्ड जब लस भनेर ट्याक्क त्यसको अगाडि एउटा क्लज थपेर चाहिँ नि सेन्टेन्स बनाउन सजिलो हुन्छ भनेर मात्रै यो फर्मेट दिएको हो नत्र भए अभियसली वर्किङ पेपर हेज नो फर्मेट पर से अरू केही क्वेसन्स छ हजुरहरूसँग प्लिज डोन्ट हेजिटेट है So if not, can we proceed with the session? Should I stop sharing my screen?
Hello, ma'am.
Yes.
Show more slide downside.
Okay. Ajay Gaurav.
More, please. To the last. Thank you.
Bhayo?
Thank you, Bhayo.
Okay, sure. So if anybody has any question, if not, then we can move forward with the session. अब focus more on अब यसरी document गर्नुपर्ने रहेछ भन्ने हामीले थाहा पायौं सो डकुमेन्ट गर्दाखेरि कुन पोइन्ट लिएर आउँदा डकुमेन्ट गर्न सजिलो हुन्छ त भने त्यो माइन्डमा राखेर चाहिँ नि मड ककसको टपिक्सहरू रेज गर्नु भेग टपिक नहोस् मैले अघि नै भनेको जस्तै त्यो चेन क्रिएट गर्न चाहिँ नि सजिलो होस् अनि नम्बर्सहरू मैले यति दिन्छु भनेर भन्दा पनि अब दिस कन्ट्री क्यान डोनेट दिस सम अफ अमाउन्ट अथवा हामी यतिवटा रिपोर्ट्सहरू यतिवटा मोनिटरिङ स्ट्यान्ड पोइन्ट्सहरू राख्छौँ भनेर त्यो नम्बर हिसाबले होइन तर एउटा लजिकल हिसाबले चाहिँ नि सल्युसनको चेन बनोस् क्या सो द्याट even the resolution looks good. So I would like to have the director or the moderator share the screen so that we can continue with the GSL. Tespachi you can raise the moderated caucus, or if you need an unmod to discuss about anything else regarding the agenda, you can always have your time. Okay, so Delegate of Korea, did you give your speech? Delegate of Korea, are you there?
Yes, please.
Did you deliver your speech?
Yeah, I did it.
Okay, so we can have the delegate of Nepal for 90 seconds.
The delegate of Federal Democratic Republic of Nepal would like to forward a speech against the problem of AMR and its solution. Due to drug abuse and illegal supply of drug among the youngsters in the developing countries and the countries having low economic condition, this antimicrobial resistance is developing, and one day the time will come at which antimicrobial drug will not work effectively, and there will be scarcity of antimicrobial drug. So controlling of drug supply, illegal drug supply should be the major major solution to control the antimicrobial resistance. And according to WHO, the doctor-patient ratio must there are 1,000 population, and this is the major problem, and we have to develop more doctors in the country for the solution of antimicrobial resistance. Thank you.
Thank you, Delegate of Nepal. Next up, we have Delegate of Fiji for 90 seconds.
A very good morning, everyone. With the increment or modernization of the medicine, humanity sure have some advantages, but has got the invitation of the antimicrobial resistance. Antimicrobial resistance is one of the greatest threats facing humanity. Already, antibiotic resistance causes at least 700,000 deaths globally a year, and this has been projected to reach 10 million deaths annually without prevention. So, WHO released its report in 2014 and said antibiotic resistance are no longer predictions. WHO released its report, and the report says that there are about 2 million people in the US infected with the AMR, while 23,000 die annually from AMR infections. Fiji being only 10 hours away from US. Thus, Fiji must act at the time to keep its citizens safe from AMR organisms. Therefore, in November 2015, during the very first World Antibiotic Awareness Week, Fiji as the first Pacific country in order to develop and launch the national plan for antimicrobial resistance. Talking about highlighted challenges, Fiji has limited awareness and AMR, lack of national comprehensive policies, etc. But to overcome this, Fiji has prioritized AMR, and the cabinet has endorsed the national AMR plan together with the formation of a multi-sectoral national AMR committee, which includes total 5 strategies. Thank you.
Thank you, Delegate of Fiji. Are there any more speakers who would want to give their speech in the GSL? You may raise your hands. Yes, Delegate of South Africa.
In reference to Delegate of Nepal's point, may I raise point of order?
You want to raise a point of order?
Point of information, sorry.
Yes, sure, you can.
Delegate of Nepal, how will increasing the number of doctors or healthcare workers reduce antimicrobial resistance?
Okay, Delegate of Fiji, would you like to answer this point of information?
No, it's for Delegate of Nepal.
Yeah.
Okay, Delegate of Nepal, would you like to answer this question?
Yes.
Yes, sure, you may go ahead.
If there is less doctor in the country and the population is getting more, then the doctor patient ratio is very less. Due to that, then every population cannot get reach to the doctor for their general medical health, general service also, and they used to take medicine from pharmacy and like that HA pharmacy. Then that will increase the antimicrobial resistance. And if we increase the number of doctors and nurses, then they will prescribe the antimicrobial drug. Then only they will use that. Patient will use antimicrobial drug by the prescription of the doctor, which helps to decrease the antimicrobial resistance. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Follow up.
Okay, sure, go ahead.
In underdeveloped countries like Nepal, even in healthcare workers, there is absence of antibiotic stewardship programs where even the doctors and nurses are unaware of the antibiotics to be given. And that plays a great role in increasing antimicrobial resistance. What would you like to say in that?
If the technician is not unaware, then who will be aware? They must be the capital to do that.
Delegate of Nepal, please wait till the DAS members recognizes you and asks you if you would want to ask if you want to answer the question. And delegate of South Africa, please refrain from using personal pronouns like you and I. Yes, delegate of Nepal, would you like to answer this question?
Yes.
Yes, you may go ahead.
The delegate of Republic of Korea said that doctors and nurses are also not known about the use of antimicrobial drug. Then I want to question her again. Then who will be known about that sector? Doctor and nurses are the main persons to use that drugs. And if they were unaware of that, then who will handle this situation? Doctor and nurses have to play the main role in decreasing this issue. Thank you.
Yes, delegate of Nigeria.
Point of information.
For
the delegate of Nepal.
Can you just state the point via chat? We should be getting along with the committee session. You can send it to the chat box and the delegate of Nepal can answer it from there. Moving forwards, are there any more speakers who would want to speak in this particular GSL? You may raise your hands. So instead of raising point of information, you can give a speech so that it would be more formal and you would want more points included than a POI. So that a speech is like 90 seconds, but while giving a POI, you only can give a POI for like 10 or 20 seconds. So giving a GSL speech is more advantageous for the committee. So if you'd want to if you want to speak in the GSL, you may raise your hand. And yes, I guess it was a speech error that delegate of Nepal just mentioned. He certainly mentioned delegate of South Africa, but Republic of Korea was only like, it was a mistake of the wording. Other than that, delegates, are there any points or motions on the floor? Would you like to discuss on role of doctors regarding AMR or anything that was just anything about the issue that was just raised right now by the delegates? You can always have a moderated caucus on that topic and discuss about it. Yes, delegate of Nigeria.
The delegate of Nigeria would like to suspend the formal debate and move into a moderated caucus for the topic role of nurses and midwives in controlling AMR for a total time period of 20 minutes with individual speaking time being 60 seconds.
Okay. So you can type the motion in the chat box so that everyone can see it. Are there any other points or motions on the floor? You may raise your hand. Yes, delegate of Sweden.
The delegate of Sweden would like to suspend the GSL and move towards the moderate caucus on considering the recent situation of pandemic and antimicrobial resistance. For about for about 60 seconds each speaker for the total time limit of 7 minutes.
Delegate, you can have a moderated caucus of 5, 10, 15, or 20 minutes. 7 minutes is quite odd. Would you want to change it to 10 minutes instead?
Yes, sure.
Yes, you can type your motion in the chat box. Are there any other motions on the floor? We can take up to 3 motions in one taking. So if you have a motion, you may raise your hand. Otherwise, we'll move towards voting. Okay, so I see no hands raised. First of all, we'll be voting as per the, okay, let's wait for the delegate of Sweden to type their motions and then we can move forward. And delegates, please refrain from using personal pronouns like I, you, her, she, please use the phrase the delegate of this country instead. That would make the committees run smoothly. Okay, delegate of Sweden, if you could hurry, we can move towards voting. Um, um, okay, so moderator, do you have a question? So right now the motion has been raised by Sweden and Nigeria. We'll be voting forwards. We'll be voting first, looking at the importance and the relevance of the topic with our agenda. I'll be moving forward with the motion raised by the delegate of Sweden, AMR and COVID-19, with 1 minute's individual speaking time and total 10 minutes. Delegates who wish to vote for the motion may tick the green mark, and those who vote against the motion may tick the red cross mark. Delegates, everyone is advised to vote so that we can know the majority and the minority in this matter. Delegate of USA, UK, Philippines, Indonesia, Fiji, Nigeria, Nepal. Yes, so please cast your votes. Thank you. Philippines, USA, okay, thank you. Thank you. Nigeria, what's your voting stance? Okay, thank you. With a very 100% majority, the motion raised by the delegate of Sweden passes. So delegate of Sweden, would you like to be the first speaker or the last speaker?
I'd like to be the first speaker.
Thank you, ma'am. You have the floor for, okay, wait, those delegates who are wishing to speak in this motion may type your name in the chat box. I'll make a line over here. Those of you who are quick to type your motion, those of you who are quick to type your name in the chat box will get a chance to speak in the motion. Okay, here's the line. Go. If you would want to speak in this motion, please type your name in the chat box. I'll not be recognizing if you raise your hands, okay? This is just to change the monotony. Okay, Sweden, followed by Nigeria, followed by South Africa. Okay, quick, those of you who would want to speak, followed by Thailand, followed by Russia. So I'll not be recognizing those of you who raise your hands and who would want to speak in the, okay. Then UK, then Fiji, followed by UK, followed by Fiji, followed by Vietnam, followed by Nepal, okay, we can entertain one more speaker because this mod caucus is of 10 minutes and each individual gets 60 seconds. So 10 divided by 60 is, yes, we can entertain 10 speakers. Okay, Delegate of Republic of Korea will be the last speaker for this moderate caucus. Thank you, delegates. Now, Delegate of Sweden, you have 60 seconds on the clock. You may start.
Thank you so much, Chair. Fellow delegates, in this COVID-19 pandemic, we are so much concerned about our safety. We try our best to prevent from the exposure of the virus. We get common cold, we get so scared, and we go and purchase antibiotics to keep ourselves safe without knowing the fact that antibiotics are not meant for viruses, including the one that caused COVID-19. Using it when not needed can definitely be a threat to antimicrobial resistance, complicating even milder infections. So awareness about it should be increased. Another thing Kingdom of Sweden would like to address is sanitizers Sanitizer should be used only when there's no possibility of washing hands, because most of them contain an additive called triclosan that can make bacteria more stronger and harder to kill. However, it has been banned recently, but some of the sanitizers still contain it. So looking for labels is quite important, and making sure this awareness increases should be on the top. And while purchasing sanitizer, it should be always alcohol based and triclosan free. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Delegate of Sweden. Next up, we have Delegate of Nigeria for 60 seconds.
Good morning, everyone. The antibiotic resistance is a silent yet a dangerous threat lurking behind COVID-19. Aware of the fact that COVID-19 is caused by a virus, not a bacteria, and the use of antibiotics unnecessarily will not treat, rather create a resistance among the bacteria that already exists in our body. The COVID virus appears to be exacerbating the problem of antibiotic resistance, as antibiotics have been widely used to eliminate the possible bacterial superinfections in COVID-19 patients. The World Health Organization has discouraged the use of antibiotics for mild cases of COVID-19 while recommending antibiotic use only when the patient has bacterial infection on top of COVID-19, which should be only done through medical indication. So the Federal Republic of Nigeria emphasizes the need to rationally and wisely use antibiotics in this pandemic. Thank you.
Thank you, Delegate of Nigeria. Next up, we have Delegate of South Africa for 60 seconds.
Honorable House of the Delegates, if SARS-CoV-2, a single tiny virus, could cause such a havoc across the globe, imagine all the superbugs which are presently suppressed by antimicrobial agents rising again. Yes, beyond one's wildest dreams, right? According to recent reports, up to 95% of COVID inpatients are being prescribed antibiotics as a part of their treatment, which could lead to an increase in AMR among the wider population, inviting the next pandemic in less than 30 years. South Africa being one of the majorly affected countries, it has been found that 72% of the individuals with COVID-19 who were hospitalized received antibiotics, and only a fraction, like about 8%, actually had co infection. This implies that antibiotics may not be necessary in many instances. While still tackling the COVID-19 pandemic, the war against AMR is yet to be won. Hence, this is an urgent need for the countries to redouble the fight against AMR while dealing with the current pandemic. Thank you.
Thank you, Delegate of South Africa. Next up, we have Delegate of Thailand for 60 seconds.
Thank you. While the scientists are working to understand or control the COVID-19 pandemic, it is also crucial to prepare for the effect of the current and future viral pandemics on the second bacterial infections and the resulting impacts on the antimicrobial resistance. The COVID-19 pandemic reinforces importance of preventing measures such as vaccination, antimicrobial treatments in maintaining human health. Bacterial co-infections are a significant cause of morbidity and mortality during viral infections are already being reported as having a significant impact in the context of COVID-19. AMR will likely increase through the abuse of antibiotics in COVID-19 patient treatment. New and improved functional therapeutics, including antibiotics and antibiotic combinations, alternative treatments to antibiotic use. Thank you.
Thank you, Delegate of Thailand. Next up, we have Delegate of Russia.
Since there is no peculiar drug available for COVID-19, it is only treated according to symptoms, which lead to a potential threat that could affect the antimicrobial steward activities and drive antimicrobial resistance. Many individuals presenting with mild disease receive antibiotics. Out of 72% of patients, those have received antibiotics, only 8% have demonstrated infection. Since COVID-19 is a viral disease, there is no need of using antibiotics unless there are secondary microbial infections. Thank you.
Thank you, Delegate of Russia. Next up, we have Delegate of United Kingdom.
During the current pandemic, the patients with mild pneumonia-like symptoms are also being prescribed antibiotics, and the antibiotics have been misused widely. Disruptions to health services are causing interruptions to treatment, which can also lead to drug resistance. Similarly, there is disruption of vaccination services, which also increases the risk of infection, which could potentially lead to the misuse of antibiotics. At a this large-scale drug administration could have wide environmental implications too, as the antibiotics are ultimately seeping into the wastewater. The worry for emergence of AMR is heightened by the fact that the first wave of COVID-19 epicenters were also the AMR epicenters, like the United States of America, Russia, and the United Kingdom itself. Thus, there is a need to follow clinical guidelines regarding treatment of COVID-19 and monitor the use of.
Thank you, Delegate of UK. Next up, we have Delegate of Fiji for 60 seconds.
During the current coronavirus disease, COVID-19 pandemic, there are potential threats that could affect microbial stewardship activities and drive antimicrobial resistance. For instance, many individuals presenting with mild disease without pneumonia or moderate disease with pneumonia receive antibiotics. A review by WHO studies published on hospitalized COVID-19 patients received that 72% of patients received antibiotics only, from which only 8% demonstrated superimposed bacterial or fungal co-infections, and remaining were viral infections, which is sure to drive the antimicrobial resistance. Thus, the emergence of antimicrobial resistance is far more dangerous than COVID-19. So, the delegate of Fiji would like to emphasize on to work on the antimicrobial resistance bilaterally with COVID-19, not only focusing on the COVID-19. Thank you.
Thank you, Delegate of Fiji. Next up, we have Delegate of Vietnam for 60 seconds.
The recent pandemic of COVID-19 has greatly able to set example of what future will bring to us. Since the prior symptoms of COVID-19 starts with sore throat, coughs, and headaches, it is very much possible to utilize antibiotics in a haphazard way. We can see in very vast measure that the patients who are suffering from these mild symptoms have been using over-the-counter drugs from the pharmacies with easy availability and accessibility to amoxicillin as the prior drug. So it is very much essential for each and every countries to come together to fight against the AMR, which has been progressing and denoted by the COVID-19 prevalence in the today's world. Thank you.
Thank you, Delegate of Vietnam. Next up, we have Delegate of Nepal for 60 seconds.
The delegate of Federal Democratic Republic of Nepal would like to state that pandemic COVID-19 caused a lot of effects such as use of remdesivir antiviral injection, which cause many side effects like neck pain, headache, vomiting, and these injections are used to the patient without any observation of the doctor, and this cause a serious problem in antimicrobial resistance, and the patient who got the side effect by the use of this injection will take the antibiotic without consult to the doctor and cause antimicrobial resistance. So use of remdesivir in this COVID-19 case should be stopped. Thank you.
Next up, we have Delegate of Republic of Korea for 60 seconds.
after the confirmed cases of COVID-19 which are diagnosed as public health center, patient management teams here in Korea, basically they classify the patient on the basis of severity into four groups. Meanwhile, the mild cases who do not need any hospitalization are treated at residential areas by self-care. As Korea generates production of amount of antibiotics reached approximately more than 1.4 billion US dollar. So the statistics which is provided by Korean government found that more amount of antibiotics are consumed by Korean people without the concern or prescription of doctors while they get diagnosed after the COVID-19. So this has made an increment in antimicrobial resistance in Korea. Thank you.
Thank you, Delegate of Korea. With this, we have come to the end of our moderated caucus. Can any one of you tell me which moderated caucus was this? Was it the fifth or sixth? If anyone is keeping track, any one of you can unmute.
It was fourth.
It was only the fourth moderated caucus? Okay, so you had two moderated caucus yesterday, and today you had two, or is this the first moderated caucus of today?
We had
This one is today's first.
Oh, so this is the first one. As a Goriko, this is the first one. Hizo tinta boy, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So let's have another moderated caucus as well. So delegates, are there any points or motions on the floor? You may raise your hand. Yes, delegate of Nepal.
The delegate of Federal Democratic Republic of Nepal would like to suspend moderated caucus and want to raise a motion for a break.
Okay. So is it the time for a break right now?
The break starts at 12.
Okay. So let's wait half an hour till our break starts. So that motion cannot be taken. Delegate of Nepal, delegate of Thailand.
Yes. Kingdom of Thailand would like to raise a motion to move into a moderated caucus on topic role of midwives and nurses in preventing AMR.
For a time of?
For time of 10 minutes for 1 minute for each delegate.
Okay. You can type in the motion in the chat box.
Okay.
So this particular motion was already raised by Nigeria, but never mind. Okay, so we'll take one more motion that is by the delegate of Fiji.
Fiji would like to raise a moderated caucus on the topic partnership diplomacy to tackle AMR with individual time of 1 minute, 60 seconds with total time limit of 3 minutes.
Okay, thank you. You can type your motion in the chat box so that it's visible for everyone. Since the motion raised by delegate of Nepal was deemed unfit, UK, you may raise your motion.
The delegate of United Kingdom would like to raise a moderated caucus on the topic AMR and role of infection prevention and control practices in preventing it for 10 minutes with 1 minute individual time.
So you may mention your motion in the chat box. So delegate of Thailand, what I believe is that the motion that you're raising is quite irrelevant to the topic. So I might be wrong. So you have 1 minute to convince me as to why this particular topic that you're raising is necessary for discussion. So if you can you explain it to me? Delegate of Thailand, are you there? So you may explain as to why this motion is necessary for discussion today. If not delegate of Thailand, delegate of Nigeria, can explain it to me. You may go ahead. Am I audible to you, or are you guys not responding? If you would want to explain, you may go ahead and explain. If not, then we can move forward with the voting. So would you want to explain or not? Just yes or no. Yes, Delegate of Thailand.
Am I audible?
Yes, sir, you are.
I am Kingdom of Thailand has proposed this moderated caucus to into discussion because nurses and midwives are the basic they plays a basic role in the transmitting and uh, commu- transmitting of the infections in the patients and the newborn babies as they are in the direct contact, and they are one who take care they take care firstly to the patients, and they are the most they are the most susceptible for the transmission of the infection which may be caused by the antimicrobials, and that's why the it's I have that's what Thailand has chosen this topic to be discussed prime in
Okay.
at this
Thank
time.
you, Delegate of
Thank
Thailand.
you.
Well explained. So, by the order that was raised, the motion will first. No, the break is at 12 o'clock, I believe. Moderator, the break is at 12 o'clock. Someone has just texted me if when is the break. Moderator, director, are you there? Can you answer the question?
Yes, Chair, it's at 12.
Okay, thank you. So by the order as to how the motion was raised, first by Thailand, then by Fiji, then by UK, we'll first be moving forwards with the voting procedure of the motion raised by Thailand on the topic role of midwives and nurses to prevent AMR for a total time period of 10 minutes, with individual speaking time being 60 seconds. Everyone who votes for the motion, do not tick yes. I'll be making a line in the chat box so that you can type yes or no. And then I can count it from there. It's just a change for you guys so that it does not get monotonous. Okay, here is the Lakshman Rekha. Now you can start voting. If you want the motion to pass, you may say yes. If not, then you may say no. You may start now. So instead of using the participants column to vote, you may text in your voting stance. Yes, Delegate of Sweden.
Is this voting for Thailand?
Yes, for the motion raised by the Delegate of Thailand. Okay, so we've had two yes and three no's so far. Keep voting, delegates. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 no's. Keep voting. We've got 5 no's, 6 no's, 2 yeses. Okay, so without a majority, this motion fails. Now we'll be moving forwards with the voting procedure of the motion raised by the delegate of Fiji on the topic partnership diplomacy to tackle AMR for 10 minutes with each individual getting 60 seconds. I'll be drawing the line so that you can vote for this motion again. You can go. You can vote either yes or no. This is for the motion raised by delegate of Fiji. You may start voting. So we've got one no, we've got one yes, we've got one no. There we've got two no's and two yeses. Keep voting, delegates. Okay, so we've got 1, 2, 3 no's and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 yeses. Director, moderator, what is the simple majority of the committee right now? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 yeses and 1, 2, 3, 4 no's, 7 yeses. I repeat again, director, moderator, what is the simple majority of the committee?
8.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Okay, so we've got 8 yeses with clear majority. This motion passes. A delegate of Fiji, would you like to be the first speaker or the last speaker?
The delegate of Fiji would like to be the last speaker.
Okay, so I'll be drawing in the line again. Those who would want to speak in this motion may type your name in 3, 2, 1. So if you would want to speak in this particular motion, you may type your name. Those who voted yes for this motion, it is advised that you speak as well. Otherwise, a question might be raised, then why did you pass the motion? So please do keep writing your name in the chat box, since Delegate of Fiji hopes to be the last speaker. We would want someone to be the first, second, third, and so forth speaker. So if you'd want to speak, you may type your country's name in the chat box. So I'll be counting till 5. If I see no names, then I'll just put in names randomly from the ones who voted yes. That way we'll have some speeches on the go. So 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Since I see no names, we can have delegate of USA as our first speaker. We can have a delegate of United Kingdom as our second speaker. We can have Philippines as our third speaker. We can have Albania as our fourth speaker. We can have Vietnam after that. We can have South Africa after that. We can have Indonesia after that. And Fiji can be our last speaker. If we have more speakers on the way, we can take. Okay, so delegate of USA, you have 60 seconds on the clock. Okay, so Thailand wants to speak. Okay, so Sweden wants to speak. So yes, Sweden, and then we can have Thailand, and we can have Fiji as our last speaker. Okay, delegate of USA, you have 60 seconds on the clock.
Hello everyone. Since AMR is a global problem and has threatened everyone globally, every people globally, so addressing this problem, USA has participated in United Nations General Assembly high-level meeting on antimicrobial resistance, where nations passed a resolutions to combat antibiotic resistance worldwide. Similarly, it also participated in UN General Assembly high-level meeting in 2018, which covered topics related to antibiotic resistance. Thank you.
Thank you. Next up, we have delegate of UK for 60 seconds.
The United Kingdom believes that this AMR is a global problem and needs a global effort. The United Kingdom, taking this into consideration, has included its ambition to be a good global partner in the fight against AMR in its national plans and strategies. It has planned to partner with the low and middle income countries to develop wash projects. The UK aid has to insert middle income countries, and it has also partnered with the Russian Federation to formulate strategies against this fight. It has also formed the Flaming Fund for the same cause.
Thank you, Delegate of UK. Next up, we have Delegate of Philippines for 60 seconds.
The readiness of a country to overcome AMR challenge is reflected through three important factors. That is, availability of comprehensive and sustainable national action plan, presence of an established national coordinating body, existence of policies that serve as guide for framework of action. Taking this in point, Philippines has signed an administrative order of 2014 that provides legal basis for multi-sectoral collaboration and enable government to enhance multidisciplinary linkage through interagency committee on AMR so as to formulate and implement the plan that can rationalize, harmonize, streamline, integrate, and unify the efforts of various governmental agencies throughout the world to address AMR problem. Thank you.
Thank you, Delegate of Philippines. Next up, we have Delegate of Albania for 60 seconds.
AMR is a complex issue and it requires a united multi-sectoral approach. Regarding this, Albania is a member of CASER and conducts surveillance, prudent use of antimicrobial consumption, infection control, various rules on antibiotics in livestock industry, the use of drugs, diagnosis, and professional guidelines has been made. And also it has been conducting surveillance and it has been collaborating with many middle income countries, and many One Health approach programs has been signed, which brings together multiple sectors and stakeholders engaged in humans, terrestrial and aquatic animals and plant health, food and feed production, and the environment to communicate and work together in a design and implementation of the programs and policies. Also, it has been conducting surveillance and prudent use of antibiotics in livestock industry, the use of drugs, diagnosis, infection control, various rules on antibiotics in livestock industry, the use of drugs, diagnosis, infection control, various rules on antibiotics in livestock industry, the use of professional guidelines has been made. And also it has been conducting surveillance and it has been collaborating with many
That will be occurring is without bias, will be occurring without any bias to any age, gender, or natural barriers, conducting itself as a global issue that will impact each and every sector, including economic, social, finance, and so on. So, whatever faces challenges that we have been facing till now in order to control the AMR has been greatly centered into the lack of capital. So, if the partnership diplomacy will be conducted throughout the nations, including the member states, along with other developed countries, along with the stakeholders and investment banks, then we will be able to tackle the AMR that is sure to happen in future. Vietnam highly encourages the member states to come together and to solve the economic part while conducting the programs, for which it has also been working in collaboration with different organizations such as ODA, Flaming Farm, and other United Nations organizations for tackling the AMR. Thank you.
Thank you, Delegate of Vietnam. Next up, we have Delegate of South Africa for 60 seconds.
Antimicrobial resistance is definitely a substantial danger to humanity as climate change or warfare. In less than 50 years, the world might be facing yet another massive pandemic that can potentially affect every life on this planet. There is no doubt that most of the country have been contributing its best to tackle the universal threat. South Africa has been working actively with animal health and environmental colleagues to update the AMR strategy framework, and incorporate more relevant interventions from all the sectors. As one of the countries working against antimicrobial resistance, South Africa looks forward to offering its support to the United Nations in every way. Thank you.
Thank you, Delegate of South Africa. Next up, we have Delegate of Indonesia for 60 seconds.
Hello, everyone. It is far better to make a diplomatic relation to control AMR, and the Republic of Indonesia is also working to control AMR by making diplomatic relations with its internal bodies and with the internal bodies too. In its internal bodies, they are collaborating like Ministry of Health and Food and Agriculture Organization, and with the international bodies like WHO, Food and Agriculture Organization, and other bodies, it is making diplomatic relations to control AMR. Mm, it is better. So Indonesia is also putting forward and taking active part to control AMR, making diplomatic relations to the possible internal and external bodies. Thank you.
Thank you, Delegate of Indonesia. Next up, we have Delegate of Sweden for 60 seconds.
Thank you so much. Fellow delegates, antibiotic resistance affects all countries and is one of the greatest health threats of our age. It is a momentous global issue that concerns us all, but low-income countries are particularly at risk. It requires all countries to contribute for its solution. Large international organizations such as WHO, FAO, UNEP are platforms for all these efforts. So we have to continue to build alliances with other countries to pursue antimicrobial resistance issues at a high political level with the aim of highlighting important overarching issues from a One Health perspective. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Delegate of Sweden. Next up, we have Delegate of Thailand for 60 seconds.
In human and veterinary medicine and subsequent contamination of environment has led to the continuous emergence and spread of antimicrobial resistance. So, US Food and Drug Administration has amended its animal drug regulation.
Delegate of Thailand, are you there? Delegate of Thailand. I can
I am
see
audible.
that. Yes, you are, sir.
Sorry for the. Can I begin?
Yes,
As the
sir, you
time
can.
is nearly.
Yes, we'll roll again. You can
As
start.
thank you. As friendly diplomacy has always been a significant way to solve any problems raised on the global level, whether by financial aid, health aids, or etc. Thailand has made several contributions to tackle AMR at the regional and the global level. The contribution by Thailand to the global agenda on AMR and the contribution of the global community to Thailand's affirmative actions have together created a momentum that has strengthened and sustained national commitment. Thailand has been all has participated in the different friendly diplomacy as the, the intergovernmental alliance and of developing countries in the United Nations. Thailand has supported the political declaration on AMR at the UN General Assembly in 2016 and also been with the alliance of the champions at the WHO Assembly in 2015 promote political awareness, engagement, and leadership on AMR. Thank you.
Thank you, Delegate of Thailand. Next up, we have Delegate of Fiji as our last speaker for 60 seconds.
Hello, everyone. Well, antimicrobial resistance has been global topic, and everyone is talking about on the perspective of the country. But have we ever discuss on it as globally, that it never discriminate according to the country. And even though Fiji is well developed in its economic state, it is facing the problem of AMR. So being the bilaterally diplomat with Australia and Fiji are organizing 3-year launch program, which is done by CSIRO, the scientific agency, and this had been proven as the most diplomatic partnership to tackle AMR, in which Australia and Fijian government are discussing and taking a crucial step to tackle the AMR in near future, and it is the 3-year plan. Thank you.
Thank you, Delegate of Fiji. With this, we come to the end of our moderated caucus. Now, was this our 5th moderated caucus or was this our 4th moderated caucus? Kolde bhanna sakनुहुन्छ? Anyone? You can.
5th.
Your 5th too?
हजुर.
Okay, so 5-वटा moderated caucus gives you enough content to draft a working paper. So मैले भर्खर schedule हेरेँ. भोलि तपाईहरुको 2 घण्टाको मात्रै सेसन रहेछ. So भोलि चाहिँ नि we will not get time to अब amendment पनि गर्न, resolution पनि बनाउन, अनि हजुरहरुलाई briefing दिन पनि 2 hours will not be enough. त्यही भएर चाहिँ नि अब I would suggest you guys to take an unmoderated caucus and you guys can draft a working paper. I guess 45 minutes will be fine किनकि 12 o'clock देखि तपाईको break पनि छ. So we can meet here. Director moderator, हाम्रो break कति बजेदेखि कति बजेसम्म हुन्छ?
12 to 12:30 हो chair.
Okay, thank you. So it's right now it's 11:48. So अहिले हजुरले unmod लिएर चाहिँ नि if you can be back here by I guess 12:45, that would be enough time to draft a working paper. So I would expect a 5-वटा moderated caucus को topic मा problem र solution like मैले अघि देखाएको format मा एउटा working paper चाहिँ नि draft गरिराख्नुस् because भोलि we won't get time. अनि आज बेलुका I have no idea because भोलि फेरि हजुरलाई working paper को feedback दिनलाई 15-20 minutes लाग्छ. So we cannot spare that time for the resolution as well. त्यही भएर अहिले working paper बनाएर 2 बजे भित्र if I can give you a feedback, then that would be better, and we can also have 2 or 3 more moderated caucus to discuss solutions. That would be, I guess, good. So one of you can raise a motion to raise an unmod. Unmod र break को लागि दुवैको लागि एउटा motion raise गरेर चाहिँ नि committee session मा 12:45 मा present हुन भनेर एउटा please moderated caucus. Anyone? Delegates, are there any points or motions on the floor? Yes, Delegate of South Africa.
Delegate of South Africa would like to raise the motion to move into unmoderated caucus and break.
You mean unmoderated caucus and a break? Okay. So that motion is in order. Those who vote in favor of this motion may tick the yes mark. Those who are against this motion may tick the no mark. Delegate of USA, Nigeria, Indonesia, please cast your votes. Nepal as well. So we've got a clear majority, and with this we suspend our session for today for a break and an unmoderated caucus. See you all at 12:45. I'll be expecting a working paper emailed to the organizers. If not, I'll be checking you in at 12:45. So thank you. Moderator, director, will you be in the Zoom itself or will you log out? If you are not logging out, you may as well evaluate them because delegates, you will be evaluated on unmoderated caucuses as well. Thank you.
So I start with the roll call now.
So
The
you
Republic
have to read the motion to begin the session before.
So first you need to ask.
So I start with the roll call now.
So
The
you have
Republic
to read the motion to begin the session before.
So first you need to ask.
मैले चाहिँ त्यो हल्का एडिट गरेर सर्ट र स्विट बनाऊँ होइन अनि इफ यु आर फाइन विथ एउटा वर्किङ पेपर आइ एम डाउन विथ दिस है सबैजना एग्री गर्नुहुन्छ भने एउटैमा वर्क गरौँ होइन अनि त्यसपछि के प्रब्लम्सहरू हो आई थिङ्क प्रब्लम्सहरू पनि अलमोस्ट सबैको सिमिलरै छ होइन कि युनिक छ भने चाहिँ लेखौँ अनि सबै जियोस् डिस्कसै गरेर लेखौँ कसैले चाहिँ यो प्रेजेन्ट गरिदिउँ न
स्क्रिन सेयर गर्दा हुन्छ
म सेयर गर्छु एउटा डकुमेन्ट अनि त्यसमा हजुरहरू भन्दै जानु म टाइप गरिदिन्छु नि सबै फर्मेट मिलाएर डिस्कस गर्दै लेख्नु
अहिले सबैजना प्रेजेन्ट हुनुहुन्छ कि नै त्यो पनि एकचोटि
नभए केही नै हुँदैन बनाउँदै गर्दा के गर्छ
कि अहिलेलाई चाहिँ आज कुन कुन टपिक डिस्कस भयो त्यो अलिक गर्दा हुन्छ
आई थिङ्क यो मोडरेटेड ककस पनि हाम्रो 4वटा भइसक्यो है सो पाँचवटा भइसक्यो है जेनरल स्पिकर लिस्टमा पनि सबैजनाले बोलिसक्नु भएको छ जस्तो लाग्छ है मलाई कसैको पनि लेफ्ट आउट भएको छैन होला सो आई थिङ्क अब चाहिँ आई थिङ्क वी हेभ टु रियली वर्क अन यो वर्किङ पेपरमा भएर हुन्छ कि 2 बजेपछि पनि गर्न सकिन्छ कि एकछिन यसमा वर्क गरेर चाहिँ सब्मिट गरिहाल्दा सजिलो हुन्छ आज
अहिले चाहिँ ट्राई गरौँ न आज गरेको जति
आज गरेको चाहिँ अहिले गरौँ होइन जति सकिन्छ त्यति गरौँ अनि अरू पछि सोचौँला
अरू सबै कन्ट्री आएपछि गर्दा ठिक होला पछिको त एडिट गर्ने पार्ट चाहिँ
होइन डिस्कस गर्दै गरे भयो अनि
अहिले ब्रेक हो र
ए अब चाहिँ ब्रेक हो
12 बजे 12:45 सम्म भन्नुभयो होइन
ट्याक्लिङ एएमआर
एजेन्डा हाम्रो चाहिँ 5वटा भएको थियो होइन एजेन्डा भन्दा नि यहाँ फर्मेट
तल मोडरेटेड ककसको लागि
चाहिँ 5वटा
अनि मोडरेट ककसमा चाहिँ नामहरू एउटा चाहिँ साउथ अफ्रिकाको थियो के अरे फर्स्टमा समथिङ ओटिसी ड्रग्सको रिलेटेड
त्यो जुन उहाँले हामीलाई चेयर
ठ्याक्कै भन्नु
त्यो फर्मेटमा
मैले त्यही फर्मेट हेर्दै गर्दा
चाहिँ antibiotics over the counter in pharmacies.
Sales of antibiotics over the counter in pharmacies.
Antibiotics over the counter in pharmacies.
हिजोको डकुमेन्टबाट कपी गर्दा नि हुन्छ
हिजोको डकुमेन्ट हेरेर भनिराख्नु अनि अर्को चाहिँ इकोनोमिक इम्प्लिकेसन अफ AMR.
Economic implications of AMR.
Food safety on अनि थर्ड मा चाहिँ food safety on AMR.
सरी टाइप गर्न भन्दा नि उता डकुमेन्टको सिधै कपी पेस्ट गर्दा हुन्छ नि टाइम बच्छ
हैन अब चाहिँ भयो अब प्रब्लम्स लेख्नु पर्छ अब चाहिँ
अब डी नम्बरमा आज चाहिँ साउथ अफ्रिकाले भन्नु भएको थियो कोभिड-19 एन्ड
हैन स्विडेन
कन्ट्रीको नाम मेन्सन गर्नु
पर्दैन कन्ट्री
AMR and COVID-19
अनि
फाइनली
अर्को चाहिँ पार्टनरशिप डिप्लोमेसी
ट्याकल AMR
पार्टनरशिप डिप्लोमेसी एन्ड छैन हजुर
टु ट्याकल AMR
यस
ल अहिले चाहिँ हामी 4th र 5th मात्रै गरौँ अनि त्यहाँबाट अर्को समराइज गरेर पछि गरौँ न
4th र 5th मा आई थिङ्क मैले जुन भनेको थिएँ मेरो लाइक AMR and COVID-19 सेनिटाइजर्स एन्ड द्याट ट्रिक्लेसिनहरूको बारेमा त्यो पनि एउटा लेख्न सकिन्छ कि ट्रिक्लेसिन एज एन एडिटिभ इन सेनिटाइजर्स अनि त्यसले चाहिँ ब्याक्टेरियाहरूलाई अलिक पोटेन्ट बनाउने र रेसिस्टेन्समा कन्ट्रिब्युट गर्ने त्यो कुरालाई पनि मेन्सन गर्न सकिन्छ
म यो एउटा गुगल डकमै बनाउँछु अनि लाइक
एडिट गर्नुहुन्छ
साइमल्टेनियसली अनि हजुरहरूले नि एडिट गर्दै गर्दा नि हुन्छ एकजनाले सेयर गर्नु अनि अरूले पनि सेयर गर्न मिल्यो नि गुगल ड्राइभमा राखेपछि
त्यो गर्दा नि भयो।
हामीले जट डाउन गरेको प्रब्लमहरू त्यहाँ लेख्दा हुन्छ है?
हुन्छ। अनि यो सिग्नेटरिजहरूमा चाहिँ आफ्नो नाम आफै लेख्ने हो?
सिग्नेटरी आई मिन अब हामी सिंगल पेपर बनाएपछि त सबै कन्ट्रीको नाम आउँछ होला नि हैन? आई मिन अहिले को इन्भल्भ हुनुभएको छ?
यस यस को इन्भल्भ भएको छ उसले आफ्नो नाम लेख्दै जान्न।
हजुर। युकेले गुगल डक बनाउन लाउनु भएको हो?
बनाउन जानु भएको छ।
ए
यो स्पोन्सर चाहिँ के बेसिसमा लेख्ने हो?
त्यो स्पोन्सर्सहरू चाहिँ सबै लाइक जसले लेख्यो
जसले बोल्नु भयो उहाँले लाइक उनीहरूको नाम लेख्ने हो क्या। सिग्नेटरी चाहिँ जसले लाइक त्यो सपोर्ट गर्ने
स्पोन्सर्स अहिले मेन्सन नगरे नि हुन्छ भन्नु
लास्टमा गरौँ त्यो
स्पोन्सर्स
पछि गर्ने अहिले भर्खरै नगर्दा हुन्छ।
अब यसको लिङ्क पठाइदिँदा हुन्छ अनि सबैले त्यसमा
हिजोकै लिङ्कको फोल्डरमै छ।
जुन प्रब्लम्सहरू चाहिँ कमन छ त्यो चाहिँ अब एकदम सर्ट र स्पिड बनाएर चाहिँ त्यो आफै राख्दै गरौँ अनि पछि चाहिँ कलेक्टिभली एडिट गरौँ। त्यो हुन्छ?
गरौँ न भन्नाले सबैजना एउटा डिस्कस गरौँ। आई मिन क्लज अनुसार गर्ने कि पोइन्ट्स मात्र गर्ने? म्यामले भन्नुभएको त्यो देखाउनु भएको जस्तो पोइन्ट्स मात्र भन्ने कि क्लजमा गर्ने अलिकति एक दुई प्याराग्राफ लेख्ने टाइपको कि?
हैन पोइन्ट्समै गरौँ।
जसरी हामीलाई देखाउनु भएको थियो नि फर्मेट पोइन्ट्स बनाएर त्यसरी नै गरौँ।
ल फर्स्ट पोइन्टलाई 2-3 लाइनमा एक्सप्लेन गर्दा हुन्छ के?
म्यामले फेरि
क्लज भन्दा पनि पोइन्ट्स मात्रै राख्ने भने क्लज इज लाइक भास्ट हैन लाइक सर्ट त्यो
एउटा पोइन्टलाई 3 लाइनसम्म एक्सप्लेन गर्न हुन्छ भन्नु।
नट मोर देन 1-2 लाइन्स जस एकदम सर्ट र स्वीट हेर्नेलाई पनि सजिलो होस् न के हो भनेर धेरै
त्यही गरौँ के नि?
त्यो लिङ्क चाहिँ भाइबरमा नि सेन्ड गरिदेऊ न ल। गरिदिनुहोस् न ल।
हिजो पठाएको लिङ्क हो लाइक भाइबर ग्रुपमा छ। एकछिन
हिजोकोमै अर्को फोल्डर रहेछ क्या। हिजोकै
अर्को
फाइल बनाएर राखेको रहेछ।
ओके अहिले त ब्रेक जानु पर्छ।
अहिले नि पठाइदिएँ।
Excuse me, chair is there. अहिले ब्रेक भएपछि त जाँदा नि हुन्छ होला है खाना खाने बेला।
हुन्छ।
ओके आई एम गोइङ।
म चाहिँ एउटा पोइन्ट एड गर्छु नि है। त्यो त्यो स्यानिटाइजर युज अफ त्यो एडिटिभ इन स्यानिटाइजर भनेर एड गरौँ।
सबैले एडिट गरेर राख्दा हुन्छ।
Yes. Mix. सो एकजनाले चाहिँ प्रेजेन्ट गरिरहेको भए चाहिँ सजिलो हुन्थ्यो यहाँ सबैजनाले गर्न किङडम युकेले चाहिँ गरिराख्नु भएको थियो
Sorry. Yeah, माथिबाट भएछ कस्तो अप्ठ्यारो हुँदैछ
त्यो हामीले यहाँ प्रब्लम्सहरु लेखिरा छौं न यो वर्किङ पेपरमा अनि त्यसमा चाहिँ अब हामीले प्रब्लम्सहरु लेख्दाखेरि माथि सुरुमा मोडरेटेड ककसमा के एजेन्डामा आएको टप प्रब्लम्सहरु हो नि त यो तल लेखेको प्रब्लम्स त त्यही सुरुको एजेन्डामा आएको प्रब्लम्सहरु चाहिँ सुरुतिर लेख्ने अनि सेकेन्डको प्रब्लम आएको एजेन्डाको प्रब्लम्स
त्यो पछि एडिट गर्दा हुन्छ अहिले चाहिँ त्यो पछिको हामीले त्यो हिजोको त सबै त्यही छ नि त हिजोको त्यो वर्किङ पेपरमा त्यहाँबाट चाहिँ एडिट गरेर ल्याउँदा हुन्छ अहिलेको चाहिँ आज चाहिँ हामीले जुन दुईटा मोडरेटेड ककस गर्यौं त्यसको चाहिँ गरौँ न अनि त्यसमा पनि फर्दर एडिट गरेर अनि
त्यो गर्दा भयो
सबैको छुट्टा छुट्टै प्रब्लम्स र सोल्युसन लेखिदिने
तर प्रब्लम त हुन्छ नि सबै कन्ट्रीजको एउटै नै रहेछ irrational use of antibiotics
अनि सबैजनाले हेर्ने अनि छुटेको आफूले भनेको प्रब्लम के छ भने त्योमा मेन्सन गर्दा हुन्छ
हाम्रो एजेन्डा नै त्यस्तै रहेछ प्रब्लम्स पनि एउटै एउटै हुन्छ सल्युसन्स नि एउटै एउटै हुन्छ त्यसैले सब मिलेर एउटै बनाउन मिल्छ होला
यो पोइन्ट नम्बर 2 कसले लेख्नु भएको
antibiotics were given to majority of the patients even in instances where it was unnecessary
यो क्वेशन नम्बर 2 र क्वेशन नम्बर 4 चाहिँ अलमोस्ट सिमिलर छ सो एउटैमा बनाउँदा हुन्छ होला है
के भयो
अन्डु गर कसले गर्यो
सरी मैले अन्डु गरिसकेँ
I think you question number 2 र question number and question problem number 2 र problem number 4 चाहिँ almost similar लाग्यो है मलाई सो त्यसलाई चाहिँ एउटै बनाउँदा हुन्छ
एउटै बनाउँदा हुन्छ
सबभन्दा सुरु
question number भन्छु कस्तो question number आएको problem number 4 चाहिँ I think यो 2 भन्दा अलि बढी राम्ररी
अर्गनाइज यस्तो गरौँ न
भन
एउटै छ त्यो 2 हटाएर 4 राख्दा हुन्छ
लाइक सबै एकैचोटि टाइप नगरौँ यो पोइन्ट इन्क्लुड गर्न भनेर भन्नु त्यसपछि एकजनाले टाइप गर्दा हुन्छ
डेलिगेट्स तपाईहरुले आज डिस्कस गरेको मोसन पनि इन्क्लुड गर्न लाग्नु भएको हो
हजुर हिजोको चाहिँ हामीले अलरेडी गरिसकेको छौं के त्यो वर्किङ पेपरमा अब त्यहाँबाट चाहिँ एडिट गरेर हामी अहिले एकछिनमा राख्छौं अहिलेको चाहिँ हामीले डिस्कस गरेर सल्युसन्सहरु राख्न लाग्यो
ओके अनि हामीलाई बेलुकासम्म मेल गरिदिनु ल
ओके
सबभन्दा सुरुमा चाहिँ हैन कोभिड-19 चाहिँ अब भाइरसले भयो पनि ब्याक्टेरिया एन्टिब्याक्टेरियल युज
राख्दा हुन्छ ब्याक्टेरियल को इन्फेक्सन चाहिँ फर्स्टमा राख्दा हुन्छ यो स्यानिटाइजर्सहरु चाहिँ आई थिंक लास्टतिरै राख्दा हुन्छ बिकज
अलिक सुरुमा चाहिँ त्यस्तोलाई यो चाहिँ अझै सबभन्दा रुट कुरा चाहिँ यो हो अनि त्यसरी नै फलो अप गर्दा
हुन्छ
अघि कसले नेपालले पनि यो क्वेशन गर्नु भएको थियो हैन के भन्छ कुन कन्ट्रीले क्वेसन गर्नुभएको थियो डक्टर्स नर्सेसहरूले चाहिँ प्रपर एजुकेसन नभए चाहिँ अरू कोसँग हुन्छ
एकैछिन है यो क्वेसन कस्तो प्रब्लम नम्बर 2 र प्रब्लम नम्बर 3 पनि हामीले हल्का एउटैमा गर्न मिल्छ जस्तो लाग्यो है मलाई Symptomatic treatment of COVID-19 leads to overuse of antibiotics that are generally not required unless bacterial co-infections
Overuse चाहिँ एउटैमा
are seen. त्यसरी
overuse like
एउटैमा राखौँ
secondary infections bacterial
इरेसनल लेख्यो भने चाहिँ सबै कुरा इन्क्लुड हुन्छ जस्तो लाग्छ है मलाई चाहिँ भन्नाले ओभरयुज भयो मिसयुज भयो सबै कुरा
इरेसनल लेख्दा ठिक हुन्छ होला ओभरयुजको सट्टा
irrational हुन्छ
ओभरयुजलाई एडिट गरेर
के प्रब्लम छ यतिकै डिस्कस गरौँ न पहिला सुरुमा मिसयुज भयो हैन
के फर्स्ट प्रब्लमलाई तल राख्दिम अनि यो दुईटालाई मर्ज गरेर माथि राख्दिम न त सेकेन्ड र थर्डलाई
सेकेन्ड र थर्डलाई पनि मर्ज गर्दा हुन्छ
एएमआर रिलेटेड हामीले डिस्कस गरेको लाइक सुरुमा मिसयुज भयो प्रब्लम हैन अरु के छ यतिकै भर्बली डिस्कस गरौँ न पहिला
यति हो प्रब्लम यसको
यो चाहिँ मेरो थियो हैन सो सबैजनाले भनेको चाहिँ प्रब्लम यही हो मिसयुज बढी भयो सिम्पटोमेटिक लाइक सिम्पटम्सहरूलाई रिलिभ गर्नको लागि एन्टिबायोटिक्स लिएको अनि त्यसै मिसयुजको बारेमा कुरा गर्नुभएको थियो हैन सबैजनाले अनि अब सल्युसन्स पनि सबैले अलमोस्ट जोइन्ट एफोर्ट्सहरू बायोल्याटरली COVID-19 र AMR बायोल्याटरली लग्नुपर्छ अनि क्लिनिकल गाइडलाइन्स प्रपर युज
अनि एकजनाले अल्टरनेटिभ ट्रिटमेन्ट पनि
सबै त्यो प्रब्लम्सहरू अलमोस्ट सेम नै छ कि हामी सबैको सो त्यसलाई चाहिँ एकदम 1 to आई मिन एकदम ब्रिफमा राख्दिम के बिकज सबैको एउटै प्रब्लम छ हैन
अनि त्यो सुन्नुहोस् न त्यो रिक्वायर्ड अनलेस सेकेन्डरी इन्फेक्सन्स आर सिन भने त्यसलाई त अब प्रब्लमको लाइक त्यो त अब सजेसन जस्तो भयो नि त हामीले त्यसलाई चाहिँ अब अमिट गरे नै हुन्छ होला किनभने हामीले अब प्रब्लम्स स्पेसिफिक राख्दाखेरि चाहिँ लाइक युज अफ एन्टिबायोटिक्स इन प्रायर सिम्टोमेटिक ट्रिटमेन्ट अफ COVID-19 त्यसरी हुन्छ नि सर्ट एन्ड स्विट भन्नुपर्छ नि त एकदमै स्पेसिफिक भएर त्यतिमा राख्दा हुन्छ अनि अनलेस सेकेन्डरी इन्फेक्सन्स आर सिन भन्दा यसलाई चाहिँ लाइक इन वे
इन्फेक्सन्स भन्दा पनि प्रब्लम नम्बर 3 मा चाहिँ यो ब्याक्टेरियल को इन्फेक्सन्स राख्न मिल्छ सेकेन्डरी इन्फेक्सनको सट्टा सेकेन्ड र थर्ड दुवै आयो नि त्यो गर्यो भने चाहिँ
अनलेस ब्याक्टेरियल को इन्फेक्सन
म एउटा प्रब्लम हाल्दैछु सबैजनाले डिस्कस गरौँ है
मैले एउटा सल्युसन पनि हालेको छु अलिक तलपट्टि
Here should towards the telehealth consultation.
Discourage गर्ने त लाइक ब्याक्टेरियल इन्फेक्सन अन टप अफ COVID-19 छ भने चाहिँ
मिसयुज मात्र एउटा प्रब्लम भयो मिसयुज त्यो कन्ट्रिब्युट गर्ने अरू फ्याक्टर्सहरू मेन्सन गरौँ न त जस्तै अवेरनेसको ल्याक अनि ल्याक अफ हाइजिन त्यस्तैहरू लाइक अरू डिस्कस भएको थियो नि केले चाहिँ मिसयुजमा लिड गर्छ
पनि लेख्ने
लाइक ब्यारियर्स इन ट्याक्लिङ एरियामा के हो त अवेरनेसको ल्याक छ एउटा अर्को
एन्टिबायोटिक्स टुवर्ड्स पनि हुन्छ सल्युसन्स
हो त्यस्तोहरू लेखौँ के प्रब्लम
Was भन्दा पनि pure symptomatic treatment of COVID-19 with irrational use of antibiotic is unnecessary.
Where seen भन्दा are seen लेख्ने त्यो सेकेन्ड अब ओमिट गरिदिँदा हुन्छ होला है ब्याक्टेरियाको इन्फेक्सन वाला
हुन्छ
हुन्छ
हुन्छ किनभने थर्ड नम्बरमा आइसक्यो नि त ब्याक्टेरियलको इन्फेक्सन भनेर
prior symptomatic treatment of COVID-19 with
where seen भन्दा पनि is राख्दा प्रेजेन्टमै राख्दा राम्रो सुनिन्छ कि के
are seen that is unnecessary in the absence of bacterial co-infections. Milio?
Prior symptomatic treatment of COVID-19 with irrational use of antibiotics are seen कमा दिएर इज हुन्छ द्याट लेखिरहनु पर्दैन त्यही पनि ठिक छ
are seen that is unnecessary
in absence भन्दा पनि unless there is the presence of bacterial co-infections in absence of हुन्छ एउटै कुरा
छ
prior infection treatment of COVID-19 telehealth consultation
you are seen action you are seen that is unnecessary पनि omit गरेर सिधै in absence of bacterial co-infections लेख्दा फेरि पनि अझै सर्ट हुन्छ कि यो because unnecessary हो भने थाहा नै छ सबैलाई सो त्यो लेखिराख्नु पर्दैन
use of antibiotics even in absence लेख्नु पर्ला त्यसै even in absence of even in absence of bacterial co-infection use of triclosan यो use of triclosan लाई चाहिँ सेकेन्ड पोइन्टमा राख्दिदा हुन्छ होला किनभने लाइक यो प्राइम यो भन्ने त्यो चाहिँ अब सेकेन्डरी जस्तो भयो नि अब इन्फेक्सन
यो पनि राम्रो point हो the huge shift towards telehealth consultation during the pandemic could also exacerbate antibiotic overprescribing there was a recent period that was just overprescribing is much more okay
यो mention भएको थियो
यसपछिको त्यो
telehealth consultation during the pandemic could also exacerbate
यसमा चाहिँ यो गरौँ न है यो पेडियाट्रिक स्टडी वाला चाहिँ यो ओमिट गरौँ अनि ओभर प्रेस्क्राइबिङ देन इन फेस टु फेस भिजिट्स भनेर चाहिँ यसलाई एडिट गर्नु न हुन्छ
there was a recent pair study demonstrated overprescribing much more common telehealth visits भन्नाले कि यो कमर्सियल गरे भने हैन
अनलाइनमा भएको के
online rather than face to face visits भनेर लेख्दियो
exacerbated antibiotic overprescribing through telehealth consultations rather than face-to-face visits. Okay. भयो
ठिक छ है आई थिंक ठिक छ सो यो कोभिड-19 को बारेमा यति नै हो प्रब्लम्स कि अरूलाई केही एड गर्न मन छ कि
सल्युशन्सहरु अरु केही छ कि
सल्युसन्सहरु तल छ एकचोटि तल स्क्रोल गरौँ त
त्यही नै हेरेको अझै थपिएन
सल्युसन्स पनि मैले पनि त्यो लेखिदिएको छु ओके
international guidelines on the use of current antibiotics or
यो चाहिँ अलि लामो भयो यसलाई चाहिँ हल्का सर्ट पारौँ है बिकज यसले चाहिँ 3-4वटा प्रब्लम नै कभर गर्ने रहेछ तर नि एकदम सर्ट बनाऊँ अलि
on the use of current antibiotics and non-knowledge.
यसमा ब्याक्टेरियल मात्र हाल्न मिल्दैन नि एक्चुअली
सेल्फ प्रेस्क्रिप्सन त कुनै फर्मबाट पनि लाइक इन्करेज नगर्ने भनेर
इन्फेक्सन भयो अनि त्यसपछि अरु सब हटाइदिउँ
भन्नाले कुन चाहिँ प्रब्लम्सको
सेकेन्ड पोइन्टमा use of antibiotics
including guidelines of the use of current antibiotics.
हामीले मोडरेटेड ककसको अनुसार छुट्याएर लेखेको हो सल्युसन प्रब्लमहरु
ब्याक्टेरियल भन्दा माइक्रोबियल को इन्फेक्सन राख्न
माइक्रोबियल हैन सबैमा माथिदेखि माइक्रोबियल गर्नुपर्छ
सबै कभर गर्छ फंगाई देखि प्यारासाइट देखि सबै
यता पनि माइक्रोबियल राख्नुपर्छ
त्यसमा माथि प्रब्लममा पनि माइक्रोबियल राखौँ
अघि न लाइक चेयरले सेयर गर्नुभएकोमा चाहिँ त्यो ककस अनुसार थिएन त्यो
ककस अनुसार थिएन
त्यो टु द फाइनल
एज इन लाइक यस्तो हामीले अब
सल्युसन सबै इन्क्लुड गरेको सबै ककस
सबैको एकैचोटि इन्क्लुड गर्नुभएको थियो हैन त्यसै त हाम्रो धेरै हुन्छ नि त हैन अब हामीले
अघि चेयरले सेयर गरेकोमा ठ्याक्क माथिपट्टि कतिवटा टपिकहरु थियो अनि त्यसपछि तलपट्टि चाहिँ टपिक ओभरअल प्रब्लम्स अनि सल्युसन्स थियो के
त्यही भने त
ओभरअल हुन्छ
यो गर्न हुन्छ त्यो गर्ने हो
भनेसी त्यति धेरै एड गर्नु पर्दैन होला किनभने अरूहरु पनि एड अप गरिराख्नु पर्छ नि त
त्यही भनेको लाइक एकदम इम्पोर्टेन्ट मात्र फोकस गरेको
त्यसो भए हामीले यो भन्दा अगाडिको वर्किङ पेपर थियो नि त्यसमा चाहिँ एकचोटि सबैले ब्रिफली जान्नु पर्यो त्यसो भए किनभने अब एकैचोटि डाइरेक्टली अब सबैको एकैचोटि प्रब्लम्स हेरी अब लेख्ने हो भनिसकेपछि हैन
टाइम पनि सकिन लाग्यो 12:28 भइसकेछ
अब एकैचोटि 12:45 मा एकैचोटि भेटौँ न त अहिलेको लागि एकछिन 15 मिनेट्स
आई थिंक यो अब मोडरेटेड ककस भन्दा पनि अब चाहिँ हामीले अनमोडरेटेड ककस नै एक्सटेन्ड गर्नुपर्छ होला पछि अब
किन त्यही गर्दा हुन्छ होला किन अब भोलि अब हामीले त्यति टाइम पनि पाउँदैन मर्निङको 2 आवर्स मात्रै भन्नुहोस् है भोलि फिनाले उस गर्नै पर्यो त्यसैले चाहिँ अहिले पहिला अनमोडरेटेड ककसको लागि उस गरौँ अनि त्यसमा चाहिँ एकचोटि सबैजना चाहिँ कन्भर्सेसनमा आइन्छ नि त अहिले त ब्रेक हो नि त अनि सबैजना कन्भर्सेसनमा आइसकेपछि चाहिँ अनि त्यतिखेर चाहिँ लाइक प्रब्लम्सहरु चाहिँ अलिक बढी निस्किन्छ होला सबैले एक्सप्रेस गर्नुभएको जुन थियो नि अघि त्यो चाहिँ अनि आइसकेपछि त्यसमा अलिकति हाम्रो फाइनलाइजेसन गर्न अब लाइक अब ग्रामर मिस्टेक्स अनि यो एडिटिङ्सहरु मात्रै गर्ने बाँकी गरी अनमोडरेटेड ककसमा चाहिँ सबै प्रोसिजर चाहिँ कम्प्लिट गरौँ न
हुन्छ
अनि लाइक अब एडिटिङ गरेर चाहिँ अब त्यो अर्गनाइजरलाई पठाउनेमा चाहिँ अब ठ्याक्क एडिटिङ गरेर अर्गनाइजरलाई पठाउने बेला हुने बेला मात्रै अनमोडरेटेड ककसलाई सकाएर अनि बल्ल पछिको हुन्छ नि मोडरेटेड ककस या जिएसएममा जानु हुँदैन
हुन्छ
के गर्दा ठिक हुन्छ होला अब एकछिन 12:45 भन्नुभएको थियो कि है अघि
हो 12:45 भन्नुभएको थियो
ल अहिलेको लागि एकछिन सबैजना ब्रेक लिगौँ अनि एकैचोटि अब 12:45 भेटौँ अनि त्यसपछि चाहिँ उहाँहरूले ब्रिफिङ लिँदाखेरि चाहिँ त्यही भन्नु
अनमोडरेटेड ककस प्लस टाइम गरेर अनि यो सकाइदिने भनेर भन्नुभएको उसले
त्यसलाई एक्सटेन्ड गर्ने भनेको होला
ए टाइम एक्सटेन्ड गरेर
अनि यो प्रेजेन्ट भइराखेकोहरुले लाइक राख्दा भयो नि
त्यो गर्दा पनि हुन्छ
हुन्छ नभए अहिले ठिकै छ ब्रेक नलिनु हुने हो भने चाहिँ अहिले म चाहिँ अहिलेको लागि जान्छु हजुरले चाहिँ लाइक अपडेट गरिराख्नुहोस् न
ओके
यही सेयर राखेको हुन्छ हेर्दा त भइहाल्छ नि लिङ्क पनि छ सबैसित
जतिजना छन् त्यो चाहिँ हामी एडिट गर्दा भइहाल्यो नि पछि आएर कि
partnership diplomacy to tackle AMR यसको प्रब्लम लेखौँ
यसको सल्युसन लेखेको छु ल मैले तल
कि आज अनमोडरेटेड ककस जुन थियो नि कि लास्टमा लाइक त्यसको लागि टाइम कि लास्टमा माग्ने किनभने हाम्रो अझै 2-3वटा चाहिँ हाम्रो अझै मोडरेटेड ककस अझै कन्डक्ट गर्ने हुन्छ होला नि त अनि लास्टमा मागेर अनि एकैचोटि फाइनलाइज चाहिँ एकैचोटि गरेर अनि वर्किङ पेपर चाहिँ त्यसरी बुझाउने
हुन्छ त्यस्तो गर्दा पनि
हाम्रो यो मोडरेटेड ककस को टपिकमा छुट्टा छुट्टै वर्किङ पेपर बनाउनु पर्ने होइन र नि
होइन रहेछ अघि देखाउनु
होइन एउटा जेनरल बनाउनु
लास्ट क्लासले रुटिन हुन्छ
त्यही एजेन्डा पेश गर्दाखेरि यस्तो फर्मेटमा हुनका लागि चाहिँ अहिले यस्तै बनाउँदा सजिलो हुन्छ भनेर अहिले यसरी बनाएको क्या नत्र छुट्टा छुट्टै बनाउँदा नि मिल्छ एजेन्डा बनाउँदाखेरि अहिले फर प्रब्लम सल्युसन एकै ठाउँ देखाएर गराउनुपर्छ नि एजेन्डा देखाउँदाखेरि त्यही भएर चाहिँ यसरी सजिलो हुन्छ
ल्याक अफ अवेरनेस पनि त हाल्नु पर्यो नि त प्रब्लममा
के रे
lack of public
यसरी
awareness
यो डिप्लोमेटिक रिलेसन्स एन्ड पार्टनरसिप इज मस्ट टु ट्याकल एएमआर भनेर लेख्नु भएको कसले हो यो सायद यो तलको पोइन्टमा कभर हुन्छ जस्तो लाग्छ 3 नम्बर पोइन्टमा हैन
अरू पनि प्रब्लम होला नि त्यसभित्र
हैन यो सल्युसनमा हैन यो के हो
हैन हैन यो 7 नम्बरमा 7 नम्बरमा यो पब्लिकहरुको उयो
भन्न सक्छ नि त अब
45 सम्म भन्छ हैन
जोस रिमाइन्ड गरिराखेको हामीले
ए ओके सोचेको छैन
यो 7 नम्बरमा पब्लिकलाई क्लिनिकल गाइडलाइन्स चाहिँदैन
हैन यो त पब्लिक लेभलमा थाहा हुनुपर्ने कुरा हो नि त एक्चुअली त त्यही भएर लेखेको
क्लिनिकल गाइडलाइन्स त हेल्थ वर्करहरुलाई चाहियो अब पब्लिकहरुलाई भनेको रेशनल युज र
पब्लिकलाई छुट्टै लेख्दा
इरेशनल युज अफ ड्रगले चाहिँ कस्तो इफेक्ट पार्छ भनेर बरु उनीहरुलाई स्टेट ड्रामाहरु गरेर देखाउन सक्यो भने चाहिँ राम्रो हुन्छ भनेर लेख्नुपर्छ
त्यो त सल्युसनमा लेख्ने कुरा भइहाल्यो नि
lack of collaborated effort पनि राख्दा हुन्छ
यस
हामीले सल्युसन्सहरुलाई पनि त एउटै गर्ने हो नि यहाँ त कति धेरै पोइन्ट्सहरु रहेछ के हो यो
त्यही त मैले धेरै पोइन्ट्स देखेर भनेको त्यो मिलाइदिनु न लाइक
कताको यो तलको पोइन्ट्स
यसलाई मिलाउँ न त यसलाई सल्युसन्सहरु
यो एडिट गर्ने होला भनेर तलको चाहिँ छुट्टै त्यो 5th नम्बरको लेखेको हो कि
1 2 छ फेरि 2 3 छ अनि फेरि 1
त्यो
नम्बर नमिलेको
माथि अर्कैले गरिरहेछ अनि तल माथि 4 नम्बरको यो AMR and COVID-19 को लेखिरहेछ नि त कसैले डिप्लोमेसीको लेखिरहेछ त्यही भएर अलि पछि मिलाउँदा
लास्टमा मिलाउँदा थियो तर यो आज सकिन्छ जस्तै मलाई लागिरहेको छैन, कति धेरै रहेछ।
सकिन्छ, डोन्ट वरी, सकाउनै
हामीले
पर्छ।
सकाउनु पर्छ छिटो छिटो, लाइक त्यस्तो धेरै एकदम अगाडि सोचेन ठ्याक्क लाइक एकदम इम्पोर्टेन्ट पोइन्ट्सहरू लेख्यो।
हामीले अगाडि पनि ड्राफ्ट एउटा छ नि त हाम्रो, सकिन्छ होला।
हामीले त अनि त्यो माथिको प्रब्लमको ठ्याक्क त्यही रेस्पेक्टिभ अनुसार सोलुसन लेख्ने होला नि। 1 नम्बरमा जे छ प्रब्लम त्यही अनुसार 1 नम्बरमा सोलुसन।
यस्तो पर्दैन होला।
त्यो थाहा भएन, त्यो चाहिँ सोध्दै भुलेछ।
अघिकोमा त त्यस्तो थिएन, अघि चेयरले देखाइसकेको बेलामा।
होइन हामीहरूले मिलाएर लेख्दा भइगयो नि त।
त्यस्तो लेख्यो भने सजिलो हुन्छ नि त।
रिजोल्युसन बनाउँदा नि सजिलो हुन्छ होला।
प्रब्लम हेर्ने, त्यसको सोलुसन त्यही नम्बरमा लेख्दिने।
त्यही नम्बरमा लेख्ने हो।
ठ्याक्क अल्टरनेटिभ लेख्यो भने अनि सजिलो पनि हुन्छ।
ल अहिले चाहिँ हेपेजरली लेख्दै जाम अनि पछि मिलाउँला त्यो
पछि
चाहिँ।
मिलाउँला लास्टमा।
हुन्छ त्यसो भए।
एक्चुअली एउटा कुरा भन्छ है,
हुन्छ।
के अरे यो त्यो ICAM छ नि, इन्टर एजेन्सी कमिटी भनेर, खास त्यो भन्नाले अब त्यो सबै कन्ट्रीमा छ भने त सल्युसनमा लेखिँदैन नि त, छ जस्तो लागिरहेछ मलाई UN मेम्बर स्टेट्सहरूमा। त्यही भएर कसैको कन्ट्रीमा छैन भने चाहिँ लेख्दा हुन्छ, छ भने हटाउँदा हुन्छ यो पोइन्ट, क्रिएटिङ एन इन्टर एजेन्सी कमिटी भन्ने। कसैलाई आइडिया छ?
इन्टर एजेन्सी कमिटी
मैले लेखे हो हुन त होइन, तर यो UN मेम्बर स्टेट्सहरूमा यो इन्टर कमिटीको मेम्बर छ जस्तो लाग्यो कि, अनि छ रहेछ भने यो सल्युसनमा लेखिराख्नु पर्छ। त्यही भएर
कुन पोइन्टको कुरा गरेर तिमीले?
यो एक्चुअली कता भन्ने अब नम्बर यस्तो
होइन, तर यो वर्किङ पेपर भनेको त एज अ होल वर्किङ पेपर भनेको त इन्डिभिजुअल भन्दा एज अ होल भनेर लेखिन्छ होइन र त्यो पनि त इन्क्लुड गर्न मिल्छ होला पनि।
त्यही एज अ होलमा नै सबै यो अहिले हामी जुन जुन मेम्बर स्टेट्सहरू छौँ सबै नै मेम्बर छ भने यसको त होइन, यो ICAMR को त त्यो लेखिराख्नु नि त यो भन्न खोजेको। के गर्ने हो?
नत्र भए अब त्यस्तो पाइन्छ
होइन
होला।
भन्नाले हुन्छ लेख्दा। मैले चाहिँ अब के आइडिया छ कि कुनै कन्ट्री चाहिँ यसको मेम्बर छैन भनेर सोध्न खोजेको खास भने अब लेख्दा हुन्छ।
के भन्नुभयो? IC के भन्नुभयो?
यो छ नि जुन कति नम्बर खै मन जुन सल्युसनको तल C नम्बरको पोइन्ट छ नि बोल्ड गरेको,
इन्टर एजेन्सी कमिटी
होइन राख्दा हुन्छ होला। सोलुसन त हो नि, अब अरू कन्ट्रीले हेऱ्यो भने मन पर्यो भने युज गर्छ भन्ने त हो नि होइन र?
हो मैले त्यही भन्न खोजेको, तर सबै कन्ट्री यसको मेम्बर छ नै रहेछ भने त यो लेखिरहनु पर्दैन जस्तो लागेर सोध्न खोजेको मात्रै हो।
होइन, मेम्बर भयो भने पनि कोही त एक्टिभली वर्क
त्यसै हुन सक्छ। हुन्छ
लाग्दा हुन्छ।
मलाई त सकिन्छ जस्तो लाग्यो।
अनि हाम्रो जुन अरू मोडरेटेड ककस छ त्यसको पनि प्रब्लम्स पनि अलमोस्ट यही नै हो क्या, सल्युसन पनि त्यही नै हो, अवेरनेस नभएको अनि युज राम्ररी नभएको त्यही त हो नि अरू मोडरेट ककसको पनि। अब एक दुईवटा डिफ्रेन्सिएटिङ पोइन्ट्स त होला, त्यो चाहिँ मेन्सन गरौँला, नभए लगभग यही नै हो। सो अलि
एग्रिकल्चरको पोइन्ट्सहरू हामीले मेन्सन गरेको छैन जस्तो छ है कतै पनि।
त्यो एग्रिकल्चरको भयो, फुड सेफ्टीहरूको बारेमा भयो होइन, अनि
त्यसलाई चाहिँ त्यो हाम्रो जुन अगाडिको थियो नि त्यसमा लेख्दै गर्दा हुन्छ होला है। यता चाहिँ आधी ड्रप गर्ने उतापट्टि आधीले
त्यो गर्दा
हुँदैन
हुन्छ।
अनि त्यसलाई यता कपी गर्ने।
हुन्छ त्यस्तो गर्दा नि।
कसरी बोल्ड भयो?
कसैले स्क्रिन शेयर गर्न मिल्छ? यो के भइरहेछ मेरोमा आइरहेको छैन कि के हो?
केले गरिरहेको थिएन कि म गरिदिउँला पखै त।
गर न एकचोटि, यहाँ एडिट गर्दै गरौँ न, यहाँ यत्तिकै बस्नुभन्दा।
पिच अल्टिमेटली के सबैजनाले गर्दै गरौँ न।
यो कसले एड गरेर हो यो फार्मासिस्टवाला पोइन्ट?
मैले एड गरेर तर त्यसलाई एडिट गर्न मिल्छ, एडिट गरिदेऊ कोही न कोही।
I think it's not quite necessary because pharmacistलाई त थाहा भइहाल्छ नि यस्तो कुराहरू पढेको मान्छेले।
होइन के लाइक मेन पोइन्ट नै त्यही छ।
होइन थाहा भइहाल्छ त्यत्रो।
एक्चुअली के हो भन्दाखेरि लाइक डेभलपिङ कन्ट्रिजहरूमा होइन यो इभन डक्टर्सहरूलाई अनि फार्मासिस्टहरूलाई नै तिनीहरूले नै यत्तिकै प्रेसक्राइब गर्छ के एन्टिबायोटिक्सहरू।
त्यो इग्नोरेन्स होला नि।
यहाँको एउटा
त्यस्तो त्यस्तो त अलि लेख्न मिलेन के, फार्मासिस्टलाई अवेर हुनुपर्ने बिकज त्यत्रो वर्ष पढिसकेपछि त कहाँ त्यो चाहिँ मलाई अलिक कन्ट्राडिक्सन
त्यस्तो भन्दा पनि फार्मासिस्टहरूलाई चाहिँ लाइसेन्स पाएपछि मात्र यस्तो
हो त्यो चाहिँ बरु मेन्सन गर्न मिल्छ है। लाइसेन्स अप्रुभ गरेको फार्मासिस्टहरूले चाहिँ सेल्सहरू मात्र गर्न मिल्छ। यो डाइरेक्टली सुड बी अवेर त अलिक भन्न मिल्दैन कि बिकज त्यत्रो वर्ष पढेको छ अनि डिग्री लिएर गरेपछि त अभियसली यो कुरा थाहा भइहाल्छ नि। अब हामी पनि पढिरह हामीलाई अब त्यस्तो भन्दाखेरि त अलि
तर एक्चुली के त्यो चाहिँ लाइक अब कतिवटा हस्पिटल्सहरूमा त्यो यतिकै प्रेसक्राइब गर्ने
त्यस्तो हो क्या। इन डेभलपिङ कन्ट्री चाहिँ कस्तो हुन्छ भन्दाखेरि औषधि बेच्ने भनेको अब फार्मासिस्टले नै बेचिरह हुँदैन क्या, उसको घरको फ्यामिली मेम्बर्सले पनि विथ अब एक्सपिरियन्स गेन गरेको छ भने यतिकै बसेर बेचिरह हुन्छ क्या। सो दिस क्यान बी इन्क्लुडेड एज अ पोइन्ट होइन।
हो त्यो चाहिँ गर्न मिल्छ होइन। त्यसैले त्यो
कुरा पनि ठिक हो, त्यसलाई सेन्टेन्स ल्याङ्ग्वेज मिलाउन मिल्छ नि त। ले भनेको डाइरेक्ट फार्मासिस्ट लेख्दा पनि सेन्टेन्स
बिकज अब
नाइजेरियाले भने अनुसार यो लाइसेन्सवाला कुराहरू चाहिँ राख्न मिल्छ। यो चाहिँ यो स्टेटमेन्ट चाहिँ अलिक कन्ट्राडिक्टिङ छ जस्तो लाग्यो है मलाई।
अलि
त्यो
अलि
चाहिँ मैले उता त्यो फार्मेसीको पोइन्ट्सहरुमा राखिदिएको
होइन
थिएँ
त्यो तलको पोइन्टलाई नकाटे पनि हुन्थ्यो त्यो चाहिँ लेख्ने माथिको सेन्टेन्सलाई मात्रै मिलाउँदा हुन्थ्यो कि
तर ठिक छ यसलाई एउटा मात्र पोइन्टमा राखेर द्याट
होइन
लाइक
फार्मासिस्टलाई चाहिँ अर्को एउटा छ नि भेन्डर्स भन्ने एउटा वर्ड छ नि
भेन्डर्स
के भन्छ
प्रोप्रिएटरी समथिङ के
अरू भन्दा नि इग्नोर पनि गरिदिन्छ नि त कतिले त
फार्मेसिस्टहरू भनेको यस्तो हुन्छ क्या उनीहरूले अब प्रिस्क्राइब गर्न नपाउने हो मेन कुरो त होइन अब डक्टरले प्रिस्क्राइब गरेको औषधि मात्र दिनुपर्ने हो तर उनीहरूले आउँदाखेरि दिइरहेको हुन्छ जस्तो पेसेन्टहरूलाई पनि अब एमोक्सिसिलिन भनेको जेनरली त्यो एन्टिबायोटिक चलाउनै नमिल्ने हो तर डक्टरको प्रिस्क्राइब बिना नि हुन्छ अब त्यस्तो गर्न नपाउने भन्ने चाहिँ लेख्नुपर्छ
No, illegal supply of antibiotics to the public.
इलिगल हुँदैन लाइक
इग्नोर गरेर गरिदिन्छ नि त कतिले त
अनवान्टेड प्रिस्क्रिप्सन गर्ने
इरेसनल सप्लाई लेख्दा हुन्छ होला
Oh yeah, irrational supply.
हुन्छ
ओटीसी ड्रग लाइसेन्स भएकाले मात्रै बेच्न पाउने भनेर लेख्दा हुन्छ
यदि ड्रग लाइसेन्स नभएर पनि बेचे पार चाहिँ त्यसको एगेन्स्ट केही रुलहरू बनाउन पर्छ त्यस्तो लाग्दै पनि भयो
Rules त छ हैन बट रुल्स एक्जिक्युट भएको छैन क्या किनभने प्रपर मोनिटर नै भइरहेको छैन नि त
अनि कतिमाले
सल्युसन फर्स्टदेखि हेरौँ न फर्स्टदेखि हेर्न मिल्छ सल्युसन राख त एकचोटि हल्का यो आई थिङ्क प्रब्लम्सहरू त यही नै हो एकचोटि
प्रब्लम्सहरू
सल्युसन्स
पनि हेरौँ न एकचोटि
ए प्रब्लम पनि हेरौँ है सो फर्स्टको प्रायर सिम्टमेटिक ट्रिटमेन्ट अफ COVID-19
प्रब्लम्स 47 भइसकेछ त
यो एक्चुअली एउटा यो प्रब्लममा फोन नम्बरको पोइन्ट छ नि
त्यो चाहिँ आई थिङ्क हटाउँदा हुन्छ बिकज
यो स्टेटमेन्ट जस्तो भयो जस्तो लाग्यो मलाई
That is a complete statement हो हटाइदिनु त्यसलाई कसले लेख्नु
Hello, delegates. Are you done with your working papers?
नो एक्चुअली तर
भएको छैन कति गर्नुभयो
गर्दैछौँ दुईटा जतिको भयो अझै बाँकी छ आजको यसको टपिक
Okay, so do you want to prolong the unmoderated caucus or?
Yes, we would like to prolong.
Yes, you can raise a motion. एकजनाले मोसन रेज गरेर एक्सटेन्सन अफ टाइम भनेर भन्नु न Yes, delegate of Fiji.
The delegate of Fiji would like to prolong the unmoderated caucus for about 10 minutes.
Okay, it's granted, delegates.
सो आई थिङ्क अझै तल जाऊँ त यो आजको दुईटा गरेपछि ब्रेक पछि पनि आई थिङ्क हल्का टाइम छ भने हामी सबैसँग एकछिन बसेर गर्दा हुन्छ
यो
एकछिन 7 र 8 पनि एउटा सिमिलर एकछिन इग्नोरेन्स रिगार्डिङ AMR इभन बाई द प्रोफेसनल ओके यो ठिक
यो 10 नम्बरको प्रब्लम हेरौँ त इन्कम्प्लिट छ कि
त्यो एडिट गरेर अमिट गर्ने बाँकी होला हटाउने बाँकी होला
अब एकजनालाई चाहिँ उ गरौँ न अब हामी चाहिँ यो 3 र 4 आई थिङ्क यो COVID-19 को चाहिँ आई थिङ्क हामीले अलमोस्ट प्रब्लम र सल्युसन्स निकालिसक्यौँ यो हाम्रो जुन फाइनल त्यो डिप्लोमेसीको कुराहरू आएको थियो त्यो पनि लेखौँ र हिजोको जुन 3टा मोडरेट ककस भएको थियो त्यसको पनि हल्का यहाँ राख्ने काम गरौँ न है
एडिट
त्यही यो उतापट्टि जसले गरिरहनु भएको छ नि हाम्रो हिजोको ड्राफ्टमा त्यहाँ एकचोटि हेर्नु न त्यो प्रब्लमको 3 नम्बरमा लेख्नु भएको कसले हो एकचोटि त्यो
एक्सेजरेटेड इकोनोमिक बर्डन भन्नाले के भनायो? त्यही त आई थिङ्क हल्का यो लाग्यो मलाई खासै प्रब्लम नै त लागेन मलाई के गर्ने
कसले लेख्नु भएको
इन्टेन्सिभ केयर रिक्वायर हुन्छ त्यसको लागि लेख्या होला तर अहिले चाहिन्न होला
एक्जाजरेटेड इकोनोमिक बर्डन त्यो हटाइदिनु न त
ट्रिटमेन्ट धेरै ट्रिटमेन्ट गरे नि त्यो हुन्छ र एन्टिबायोटिक खाने होला नि के त एन्टिबायोटिक खाइदिन्छ नि अब रुगा खोकी लाग्ने एन्टिबायोटिक खाने चेक नगराउने
भयो त नि त्यसमा
इकोनोमिक बर्डन पोभर्टी भन्न खोजा होला
यो 11 नम्बरको पोइन्ट एक्चुअली
होइन यो खासमा कसैले लेख्दा लेख्दा छुटेको नि हुन सक्छ
Yes, co-chair.
We have a moderator here. Moderator. Director.
Yes, co-chair.
Do you think that we need to end this informal session and move towards the formal session?
Yeah.
So delegates, are you prepared in order to move towards the
co-chair,
now?
there were motion was just raised for the extension of time for 10 minutes. It was around 12:50. I guess they still have 8 minutes of unmod still left.
So we'll start from 1.
Yes, Fiji just raised a motion for for extension of unmod as they were not done with the working paper. So yes.
Okay, thank you.
एकचोटि यो शेयर गर्नु भएको एकचोटि माथि स्क्रोल गर्नु त त्यहाँ एउटा हो यो 11 नम्बरको के पोइन्ट
एन्टिबायोटिक्स
युज फर एनिमल्स नट ओन्ली यो प्रब्लम हो लेखेको हैन
प्रब्लम होला
यसलाई अलि मिलाउन मिल्छ कि यो अलि स्टेटमेन्ट जस्तो लाग्यो
यसलाई चाहिँ सर्ट पारेर युज अफ एन्टिबायोटिक एज ग्रोथ प्रमोटर्स अल्टिमेटली कन्ट्रिब्युट्स टु ह्युमन यो लेख्दिउँ न एकछिनै मैले पनि
यो फुड एनिमल्स यो यसो लेख्न मिल्छ कि भनेर एकचोटि है म भन्छु ठिक लाग्यो भने रेस्पोन्सिबल युज अफ एन्टिमाइक्रोबियल्स इन पोस्ट हार्भेस्ट भन्छ होला कन्ट्रिब्युट्स टु रेजिस्टेन्ट प्रब्लम
हुन्छ
पोस्ट हार्भेस्टमा हुन्न प्री हार्भेस्टमा होला नि
प्री पोस्ट खास दुईटै हो तर यसमा फुड एनिमल्स भनेर लेखेको छ नि त
प्री हार्भेस्ट हो कि एन्टिबायोटिक्सहरू रिस्ट्रिक्ट गर्न पर्छ क्या 1 हप्ता 15 दिन 20 दिनसम्म पहिला हेरी अनि त्यसपछि चाहिँ त्यो सप्लाई हुन्न के बडी ब्लडतिर जान्छ रिस्ट्रिक्ट भइसक्यो हुन्छ बडी निस्किसक्यो हुन्छ त्यो वाला हो प्री हार्भेस्ट
हुन्छ त्यस्तो लेख्दा पनि जस त्यसलाई चाहिँ पोस्ट प्री हार्भेस्ट लेख्ने भने हैन
म अघि डिस्कनेक्ट भए अघि लाइक इन द लास्ट 15 minutes का अपडेट दिनु न कसै
के भन्छ अनमोडरेटेड चाहिँ एक्सटेन्ड भयो
हामीले ओभर द सेल्स काउन्टर के रे ओभर द काउन्टर सेल्सको बारेमा लेखेकै रहन्छ प्रब्लममा
यो एक्चुअली थाइल्यान्डले के भन्नुभएको अघि एक्चुअली भन्नु न फेरि प्री हार्भेस्टमा भन्नुभएको है त्यसलाई मिलाउँ न त यो 11 नम्बरको पोइन्टलाई
रसियाले भन्नुभएको
ए सरी रसिया
आर यु देयर Please repeat the problem.
not not proper restriction of antibiotic in pre-harvest stage. May I do it myself?
Yeah, you can do.
त्यो 12 नम्बरमा लाइसेन्स्ड फार्मासिस्ट प्रिस्क्राइबर लेख्दा राम्रो होला जस्तो लाग्यो मलाई।
Licensed prescribers of antimicrobial.
Licensed
You
pharmacist.
can include
edit गरिरहेको
pre-harvest
छु।
stage of animal-based products and food animal also. You can also write food animal because food animal पनि हामीले consume गरिरहन्छौँ क्या।
त्यसमा नै आउँछ होला सायद यो एनिमल बेस्ड प्रडक्टमा नै हैन र?
सबै इन्क्लुड हुन्छ के मिट
त्यसमा नै इन्क्लुड हुन्छ।
No more extension of time after 3 minutes.
No proper restriction of antibiotics.
अब यो हैन हामीले अहिले सकाएन भने चाहिँ आफ्टर 2 o'clock बसेर भए पनि सकाइदिउँ है।
छुट्टै एउटा लिङ्क पठाउने अनि त्यसपछि चाहिँ हामीलाई जुममै
जुममै त्यही गरौँ न किनभने भाइबरमा छ नि त ग्रुप त्यहाँनेरि एकजनालाई लिङ्क पठाइ भइहाल्यो नि।
यो 11 नम्बरको पोइन्टलाई यो नो प्रपर रेस्ट्रिक्सन अफ एन्टिबायोटिक्स युज भन्दा अलि लामो भयो जस्तो लाग्यो हैन हुन त हुन्छ एन्टिबायोटिक युज होला है मैले थप्दै ल
नो प्रपर रेस्ट्रिक्सन
हुन्छ युज during pre-harvest of animal fast products.
Just 2 minutes more to go. Then we will be having further session.
Notice of license prescribers of antimicrobial.
2 बजेसम्म मात्र होइन यो कि 6 बजेसम्म हो? 2 है?
6 बजेसम्म बुझाउने रे।
अनि यो फर्मल सेसन चाहिँ 2 बजेसम्म हुन्छ हैन?
Notice of license prescribers of antimicrobials. Then यो अलि बुझेन यो के भनेको?
कुन नम्बर?
12 नम्बरको एकचोटि हेर्नु त।
Prescribers of antimicrobials and pharmacists selling of भन्न खोजेको चाहिँ लाइसेन्स भएको फार्मासिस्टहरूले चाहिँ के भन्छ फार्मेसीमा काम गरिरहनु भएको छैन भन्न खोजेको होला। सर्टिस भनेर त लाइक सर्टेज चाहिँ अलिक हुँदैन होला यसलाई मिलाउनु हुन्थ्यो किनभने सर्टेज
यो स्पेशली यो LMICs भनेर फोकस गर्दा हुन्छ होला यसमा 12 नम्बरको पोइन्ट है
यो ल्याक अफ इनोभेटिभ इफोर्ट्सहरु हल्का त्यो गर्न मिल्छ
Okay, delegates, your time is up. I guess now you should stop writing and then continue after your break. So there's no more extension because we'll have to move forwards with our formal sessions. However, right now we'll be taking in two moderated caucuses, meaning that while you submit us this working paper, you should also include the the two moderated caucuses that we will be discussing 1 hour from now. So whoever is sharing the screen, you may stop sharing it now. But before that, can you scroll a little bit upwards and let me just see the formatting of the entire working paper, how it's done. Okay. So please do decide on the sponsors. Maximum of only 3 sponsors are allowed, looking at the number of delegates. So yes, thank you. You may stop sharing the screen. It's up to the format that I sent you. Now then, delegates, are there any points or motions on the floor? You may raise your hand, resume the GSL, and then move towards the moderated caucus. Yes, Delegate of Fiji.
The delegate of Fiji would like to raise a motion on moderated caucus for role of veterinary medicine in AMR with the total time limit of 10 minutes and the individual time limit of 1 minute.
Delegate, you are advised to first raise a motion for GSL and then move towards the moderated caucus because it's the ideal format. Because we ended with an unmod, it's advised that you start with a GSL first. Okay, so anyone who has a motion for GSL may raise their hands. Delegates, are there any points or motions on the floor? Fiji, you can raise your motion later on when we are taking in motions for the moderated caucus, but for now we are taking in motions for the general speakers list. So anyone, are there any motions on the floor?
Okay, sorry for taking it.
Okay, no worries. So does anybody have any motions for the general speakers list? You may raise your hand. Otherwise, I'll just make you. So Delegate Fiji, how about you rephrase your motion and raise it for the GSL instead?
Okay, the delegate of Fiji would like to raise a motion for GSL on the topic role of veterinary medicine in AMR.
Delegate, so there is no topic for general speakers list. You just resume the general speakers list. We can take in 1 or 2 speakers and then again suspend the general speakers list and then move forward with the moderated caucus. Is that fine? So it's just a format. Before we move on to the moderated caucus, we would want to first do 2 or 3 GSL so that we are in line with the rules of procedure of the MUN. So just raise a motion for the resuming of general speakers list. Delegates, are there any points or motions on the floor?
The delegate of Federal Democratic Republic of Nepal would like to resume the general speaker list.
Okay, delegate, that motion is now in order. Would you like to be the first speaker or the last speaker?
Last speaker.
Okay, so delegates wishing to speak in this GSL may raise their hands. The DICE members will recognize you. We can entertain 2 or more speakers only, so you can raise your hand. Yes, first we have the delegate of Korea. Any more speakers? I see none, so okay, we have Sweden. Any more speakers? Okay, I see none. Let's have Nepal as our last speaker then. Okay, delegate of Korea, you have 90 seconds.
Hello everyone. Uh, the Republic of Korea committed Jaipur Declaration on AMR prevention in 2011 and has fulfilled the mission and role as a member of WHO Southeast Asia Regional Office. For your information, Jaipur Declaration is a project which is launched by WHO in 2011, and health ministers in Southeast Asia region adopted the Jaipur Declaration on Antimicrobial Resistance, which calls for comprehensive action against the irrational use of antibiotics. Likewise, National Strategic Plan 2018 and 2020 was jointly developed by Ministry of Public Health in close collaboration with Southeast Asia Regional Office and World Costume Organization Korea. Thank you.
Thank you, delegate of Korea. Next up, we have delegate Sweden for 90 seconds.
Thank you so much, Honorable Chair. Fellow delegates, WHO states that if no action is taken at the right time for drug-resistant infections, it could cause about 10 million deaths each year by 2050, not just affecting global health, but also global economy. The Kingdom of Sweden realizes the impact of antimicrobial resistance and believes in effective infection prevention control program, cross-sectoral One Health perspective, and international cooperation to combat this global issue. In 1986, it was the first country in the world to ban the use of antibiotic as growth promoters in agriculture. Being a part of JPI AMR, Global AMR R&D, and STRAMA itself, it has been addressing this issue and providing a platform for research policy issues in the area of resistance. Even though it has been doing a lot to combat this global issue, there is still the risk. That's why Kingdom of Sweden believes to use it even more responsibly, increase the investment in research and innovation, and involving the community participation, and be well equipped to deal with the occurrence of resistant bacteria and other microorganisms. Thank you so much.
Thank you, delegate of Sweden. Next up, we have delegate of Nepal as our last speaker for this general speakers list. Delegate of Nepal, you may start.
Thank you. The delegate of Federal Democratic Republic of Nepal would like to forward speech against antimicrobial resistance. Vaccination play an important role in fighting against antimicrobial resistance, and in Nepal, national immunization program was conducted in 2034 years to control the infection during the lifetime, and to decrease the antimicrobial resistance. Since from the data of WHO 2015 survey was conducted in 65 countries, and it was proved that 85% of total population consume antibiotic, which cause antimicrobial resistance. And vaccination can decrease infection in newly born baby up to 65%. This is also data of WHO. Thank you.
Thank you, delegate of Nepal. Now we'll be moving forward with the moderated caucuses. So delegates, are there any points or motions on the floor? Please raise your hand. Yes, Kingdom of Sweden, followed by Thailand, followed by Fiji. Okay. Sweden, you may go ahead.
The Kingdom of Sweden would like to suspend the general speaker list and would like to raise a motion for moderate caucus on the topic role of infection prevention and control programs to combat antimicrobial resistance for about 10 minutes with 1 minute each speaker. Thank you.
Thank you. You may type your motion in the chat box. Next up, we have delegate of Thailand.
Kingdom of Thailand would like to suspend the GSL and move into the motion of moderated caucus on topic role of immunization in preventing AMR for a total of 10 minutes for 1 minute each delegate.
Okay, so you can type your motion in the chat box. Next up, we have Delegate to Fiji.
The delegate of Fiji would like to suspend the GSL and raise a motion on the moderated caucus on topic role of veterinary medicine to tackle role of veterinary medicine in AMR with the total time limit of 10 minutes and individual time limit of 1 minute. Thank you.
Thank you, Delegate. You may type your motion in the chat box. Thank you for the motions, everyone. We'll now be moving forward with the voting. We'll first be voting for the motion raised by the delegate of Sweden on the topic role of infection prevention and control programs to combat AMR for 10 minutes, with each speaker getting 1 minute. So those who vote for this motion may take the yes mark, and those who vote against this motion may take the cross mark. Everyone is requested to vote promptly. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 yeses, and okay, one. Okay, everyone is voting. Let me just count it. We've still got South Africa to vote. Delegate, please cast your vote. A delegate of South Africa, if you are with us right now. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, with without a majority, this motion fails. Next up, we'll be moving forwards with the motion raised by the delegate of Kingdom of Thailand on the topic role of immunization in preventing AMR for a total time period of 10 minutes, with each speaker getting 1 minute. Those who vote in favor of this motion may take the yes mark. Those who are against may take the no mark. Okay, we've got 3, 4, 5 no's so far. Okay, 1, 2, 5, 6, 7 no's and 2 yeses. Okay, with clear minority, this motion also fails. We'll now be moving forwards with the motion raised by the delegate of Fiji on the topic role of veterinary medicine in AMR, with a total time limit of 10 minutes, with each speaker getting 1 minute. Delegates, please cast your vote right now. Okay, we've got 1 yes, 2 yes, 3 yes, 4 yeses, 5 yeses. Vietnam, please cast your vote. Korea, please cast your vote. Thailand, please cast your vote. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. With simple majority, this motion passes. Delegate of Fiji, would you like to be the first speaker or the last speaker?
The delegate of Fiji would like to be the last speaker.
Okay, so I'll be drawing a line in the chat box. Everyone, whoever wishes to speak may type your name in 3, 2, 1. So if you'd want to speak in this moderated caucus, please text your name in the chat box. So first we have Korea. Please keep texting delegates. I'll be taking in the names once you are done with texting in the chat box. I'll then be putting your names. Okay, so then we have USA, we have United States after Korea, and then we have, please keep raising your hands. Oh, no, not, you cannot raise your hands. You should mention your name in the chat box, followed by Nepal, followed by, please mention your name in the chat box, everyone. Otherwise, I'll just have to name your names randomly in the, looking at the list. Please cast your votes, delegates. Okay, I'll just be putting your names randomly then. Nepal, followed by UK, followed by Philippines, followed by South Africa, followed by Russia, followed by
Point of
Vietnam.
order.
Yes.
The United Kingdom hasn't given the name.
Yes, so since there was no speaker wishing to speak, I just put the names randomly so that there is an active participation from your side. So after Russia, we'll be taking in Vietnam. So after Vietnam, we'll be taking Sweden. And finally, we'll be taking Fiji. Delegate of Korea, you have 60 seconds. You may start.
Okay, hello everyone. Animal food being a part of veterinary field is one that can cause AMR in human beings, so that AMR control on animal food has been strengthening aggressively in veterinary sector. In Korea, veterinary and anti-epizootic law in Korea, law on veterinary drugs in Korea, guideline on veterinary and anti-epizootic work done by disease, contain regulation on rational use of antimicrobials for animals, and policy on slaughter and processing has been enforcing that an animal can be used as a food 15 days after the antimicrobial use, even for the treatment to eradicate the source of AMR for human being. So the government of Korea is now focusing to control the infectious diseases effectively and correctly. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Delegate of Korea. Next up, we have Delegate of USA.
Antimicrobials have enabled advancements in veterinary over several decades. However, frequent use of antibiotics in animals has contributed to resistance not only in animals but in humans too, through the transfer of resistance gene while consuming meat. So, the US Food and Drug Administration has amended its animal drug regulations regarding veterinary feed directive drugs, and the final rule outlines the process for authorizing the use of veterinary feed directive drugs, that is animal drugs intended for use in or on animal feed, requires the supervision of a licensed veterinarian. Also, after the implementation of FDA's guidance for industry in 2017, it became illegal to use medically important antibiotics for production purposes, and animal producers now need to obtain authorization from licensed veterinarian to use them for treatment, prevention and control of a specifically identified disease. Thank you.
Next up, we have the delegate of UK for 60 seconds.
So protection of animal health and welfare also falls under one of the ambition among 9 for our 20-year vision. Our approach focuses on reducing animals' exposure and
Hello, may I
susceptibility
interrupt
to
once?
pathogens.
Delegate
Sorry?
of Nepal after the delegate of USA, there has been a slight mistake, Chair.
Yes. Oh, okay. So, okay, Nepal is not here.
Yes.
So yes, you may start with your speech.
The delegate of Federal Democratic Republic of Nepal would like to state the speech of antimicrobial resistance, role of veterinary, and since it is a neglected topic in contest to Nepal, due to less awareness knowledge, veterinarian use antibiotics producer and farmer to use to produce maximum animal product and growth promoter, and since in it is more used in boiler and other poultry, it cause resistance, microbial resistance in human health when meat and meat product are consumed from poultry animals. Thank you.
Yeah. Next up, we have delegate of UK for 60 seconds.
The UK has included protection of animal health and welfare under its 9 ambitions for the 20-year vision. Our approach focuses mainly on reducing the animal's exposure and susceptibility to pathogens that could result in the need for treatment with antimicrobials. We have also promoted awareness among animal owners, policymakers, and public alike of how AMR spreads between animals, environment, and the humans, and how to control it. We have also promoted vaccination to prevent the endemic among the animals. We have been successful to reduce the use of veterinary antibiotics by 40% from 2014 to 2017 itself. Thank you.
Next up, we have the delegate of Philippines.
Thank you. Livestock and aquaculture production in Philippines had intensified due to high demands for food protein sources that is parallel to continuous growth of human population. So this is seen that it is seen that there is this continuous cycle of infection transmission from human to animal and to aquatic life and vice versa. So following one health strategy, veterinary or animal sector likewise must play a role in judicious use of antimicrobials. Surprisingly, it is known that the judicious use of antimicrobials in food-producing animal is a critical step in lessening the AMR pattern that is seen in human medicine. Therefore, Philippines find it essential for an effective monitoring system to be in place from the point of slaughter to processing of animals, and calls on focusing AMR mitigation strategies in animals among UN member states. Thank you.
Delegate of South Africa.
Animals and humans use shared class antibiotics such as tetracycline, macrolides, polymyxins, and aminoglycosides. Excessive and incorrect use of antibiotics in food producing animals has also been a key player in drug resistance since resistant bacteria can be transmitted to humans through the food humans consume. In South Africa, 74 to 77% of humans consume antibiotics, whereas 23 to 36 of the animals take antibiotics. The ratio of animal to human use is in contrast to countries like USA, 70%, where animal consumption is far larger proportion. For example, chicken were given antibiotics to grow faster as a growth promoter, but delegates giving antibiotics to every single chicken in the planet without any doubt is a recipe for disaster. Therefore, South Africa has been working and providing training to agricultural worker as a national AMR framework to reduce use of growth promoters. Thank you.
Thank you, Delegate. Now, Delegate of Russian Federation.
Veterinarians play an important role in limiting and minimizing the spread of AMR. Whether it's about the development of medicine or its clinical trial, it can't be done without the help of veterinarians. Vaccines, which play an important role in preventive measure, can't be made without the veterinarian's supervision. They play an important role to stop the spread of antimicrobial in the animal-based products. Thank you.
Thank you. Delegate of Vietnam, you're next.
Veterinarians and the use of medicines by the veterinarians plays a very important role in managing and controlling all kinds of AMR resistance that can be found in animal products which are directly or indirectly consumed by the human population. So it is very much essential for the proper use and management of antimicrobials which are given to the animals. In Vietnam as well, we can see that antimicrobials are used extensively in livestock production and aquaculture. And one study even estimated that the volume of antimicrobials used per chicken produced in Vietnam was approximately 6 times higher than that of reported in some European countries, with almost 84% of antimicrobials being used for only prophylactic purposes. Although in Vietnam, there has been the provision of National Action Plan for the management of use of antibiotics and control of antibiotic resistance in livestock and production and aquaculture, but still there has not been any legal restrictions or guidelines on the use of antimicrobials for therapeutic purposes in livestock production and aquaculture. So Vietnam calls on focus for proper surveillance of AMR and AMU that are important to combat the AMR. Thank you.
Thank you, but please don't try to cross the time limit, okay? Next, we have Delegate Sweden.
Thank you so much. Fellow delegates, antimicrobials are essential tools for veterinarians to ensure animal health and welfare. Antibiotics are given as growth promoters to animals even if we do not consume it directly, but we take them by ingesting the bacteria within them that are resistant. The development of resistance to antibacterial drug is a global health issue. So veterinarians and veterinary medicine are a part of solution for this. But the veterinarians should always be well trained and well supervised, and they should always prescribe or administer the use of antimicrobials when the animal has confirmed certain bacterial disease. So veterinary medicine should be promoted, and One Health perspective should always be on the top, so that the animal as well as the human health is always protected. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Delegate of Fiji, you're next.
Antimicrobials include antibiotics which kill or inhibit the growth of bacteria, and antibiotics are used as the growth promoters for the animal in many farms which are prevalent globally. Antimicrobial use in animals can contribute to the emergence of resistant bacteria that can be transferred to humans through the food chain or direct contact. Such transference occur through the air, soil, water, manure, and the consumption of meat and animal products. So frequent antibiotic antibiotic use results in more bacteria becoming resistant, which drives the AMR. So Fiji government has been promoting the prudent use of antimicrobials in animals and is engaged in numerous activities to address the threats arising from the use of medically important antimicrobials in food producing animals. In which veterinarian roles is seem to be of highly used, because veterinarians are often the first point of contact for animal owners and produce seeking medical help for animals. So veterinary to tackle AMR is essential. Thank you.
Thank you, delegate, and thank you to all delegates. Moving on, delegate of Thailand, would you like to put a point or motion forward? I guess
No,
you
thank
said.
you. No, thank you for now.
So do we have any motions on the floor? Delegates, do we have any motions on the floor?
We have two people raising the hand, moderator.
I cannot see them.
So, delegate of South
Director,
Africa.
can you add me as the host? Delegate of South Africa. South Africa.
Delegate of South Africa would like to raise a motion on the topic no new innovation of new class of antibiotics and its impact on antimicrobial resistance for the total time frame of 10 minutes with individual time period 60 seconds.
Thank you. Please write it in the chat box as well. The next is Delegate of United Kingdom.
Point of parliamentary inquiry.
Yes,
Are
please.
we allowed to re-raise the motion that has already failed? Re-raise the topic for moderated caucus that has already failed?
Yes, I believe you can rephrase it and raise it again.
But the wording has to be changed. That cannot be replicating the one that you have been raising before.
Okay.
So we have had two motions raised as of now. Are there any other motions on the floor? Delegates? Delegate of South Africa, you had raised a motion recently. Can you mention it in the chat box as well? So the motion raised by the delegate of South Africa is no new innovation of new class of antibiotics and its impact on antimicrobial resistance for the total time frame of 10 minutes with individual time period of 60 seconds. The other delegates, please vote on this. Delegate of Sweden, you have a motion.
The delegate of Sweden would like to raise a moderate caucus on the topic national health strategies and policies for antimicrobial resistance for 1 minute each for about 10 minutes as a total.
Thank you. Please mention it in the chat box as well. Do we have any other motions on the floor? Okay, so now voting for the motion raised by the delegate of South Africa will begin. Kindly vote. Delegate of the Federal Democratic Republic of Nepal, Republic of Philippines. So with 1, 2, 3. Oh, so with 5 votes in favor of the motion and 8 votes against the motion has failed. Now another motion as raised by, yes.
Are we voting for South Africa?
Yes.
The previous one.
Now the next motion that you'll be voting for is from the Kingdom of Sweden. National strategies and policies to tackle antimicrobial resistance for the total time frame of 10 minutes with individual time for 60 seconds. Kindly vote. Sarojini Upaniji, please rename yourself. Delegate of Nepal. So with 8 votes in favor of the motion and 4 votes against the motion has passed. Kindly give the names of your countries in the chat box so that we can add you as speakers. Delegates. Delegates who wish to speak on the topic, kindly give your names in the chat box.
Delegate of Sweden, would you like to be the first or the last speaker for this motion?
I'd like to be the first speaker.
Thank you, Delegate of Sweden. So, delegate willing to speak on this motion, please drop your name in the chat box, or else we have to force you to speak, because as we have mentioned, seen 9 of you voting for yes, and then all of a sudden you say no interest in talking about it. That will be kind of demotivating for the session. So we request you to speak. So, delegate of Fiji after delegate of Sweden, followed by delegate of Thailand, followed by delegate of Nigeria, followed by delegate of United Kingdom, followed by delegate of Vietnam, followed by delegate of South Africa, followed by delegate of Russian Federation. So we are expecting one more speaker. So before we pick you out, I would like to request you. Yes, delegate of Philippines. Delegate of Philippines. May I know the purpose of raising the hand?
Yes, I would like to speak.
Thank you, delegate. So speaker 9 would be delegate of Philippines. For now, the floor is given to delegate of Sweden. You have the floor for 60 seconds.
Thank you so much. Fellow delegates, the major Swedish policy against antimicrobial resistance is to increase infection prevention and control programs such as vaccination program, hygiene procedures to keep the animals healthy, and application of One Health perspective, strengthening international cooperation, and collaborate with large international organizations like WHO, FAO, and UNEP, along with building alliances with other countries to pursue this topic at high political level. The resistance situation in Sweden is, however, stable than most of the countries, but still, the Kingdom of Sweden believes to use antibiotics even more responsibly, increase awareness and investment with community participation, and to be well equipped to deal with it in the future, as well as to address this issue at the international as well as in the EU level to fight this battle against the superbugs. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, delegate of Sweden. Followed by delegate of Fiji. You may have the floor for 60 seconds.
Okay. Hello everyone. Talking about highlighted challenge of AMR in Fiji, limited awareness on AMR, lack of national comprehensive policies of AMR, scant regulation and implementation of health system responses to AMR, etc. So to overcome this, Fiji has prioritized AMR and the cabinet has endorsed the national AMR plan together with the formation of multi-sectoral national AMR committee, which includes total 5 strategies. The 5 strategies are believed to combat the roles of AMR through national plans, which are as improve awareness and understanding AMR through effective communication, training and education, strengthen nationally coordinated surveillance system, optimize the use of AMR in human and medicine health, reduce the incidence of AMR through improved infection prevention and control. Fiji has been involving with other nations, as Fiji is the first among the Pacific island to pass the WHO conference. It sets the good example and has been actively involving in CSIRO project with Australia for as a 3-year launch program to tackle the AMR. Thank you.
So, delegate of Fiji, could you please emphasize on the full form of CHIRO instead of using the acronyms?
CSIRO is Australian National Science Agency, science agency, and it is called as CSIRO.
Thank you very much, delegate.
Okay, welcome.
Delegate of Thailand, you may have the floor.
Thank you, Chair. Kingdom of Thailand has always been pursuing the MR issue from the long time. As first time, Kingdom of Thailand has established a national AMR surveillance center in 1998 at the Ministry of Public Health and has been a WHO collaborating center for AMR surveillance for the Southeast Asia region since 2005. The National Strategic Plan on Antimicrobial Resistance is the first national strategy that is especially targeted toward addressing the AMR for the year 2017 to 2021. It sets clear and measurable goals as well as establishing an integrated framework to resolve AMR issues. Thank you.
Thank you very much, delegate of Thailand. Delegate of Nigeria, you may have the floor for 60 seconds.
Good afternoon, everyone. According to the Nigeria Center for Disease Control, the Federal Republic of Nigeria has been making a good progress in combating AMR. Among the 15 priority areas of National Strategic Health Development Plan, AMR is included in the priority area 11, where the target for interventions is to increase public awareness and understanding of antimicrobial resistance by 50% through effective communication, education, and training. This reflects the strategic objective first of Nigeria AMR National Action Plan, which incorporates the One Health approach and aims at implementing the proposed actions by strengthening and utilizing the existing national systems. The focus areas are on increasing awareness and knowledge of AMR, building a One Health AMR surveillance system, intensifying the infection prevention and control, promoting rational access to antibiotics and antimicrobial stewardship, and investing in the research. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Delegate. Delegate of United Kingdom, you may have the floor for 60 seconds.
The United Kingdom has long been an advocate of actions to address this issue, and following the policies for guidelines by WHO regarding formulation of strategies against AMR, the UK government has formulated two main strategies: its 20-year vision against AMR content and control, and which will be achieved through a series of 5 years national action plan. The 5-year national action plan consists of the plans to reduce the need for an unintentional exposure to antimicrobials, to optimize use of antimicrobials, and invest in innovation, supply, and access to tackle AMR. For the 20-year vision, we plan to be a good we have set 9 ambitions that are to plan to be a good global partner, drive innovation, minimize infection, provide safe and effective care, minimize environmental spread, protect animal health and welfare, to demonstrate and access appropriate use, engage the public, and support sustainable supply and access. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Delegate of United Kingdom. Please refrain the time limit that has been given to you. Delegate of Vietnam, you may have the floor for 60 seconds.
Good afternoon, everyone. Vietnam understands the severity of the situation, so Vietnam believes in One Health approach concept, and is actively working through its National Steering Committee on the Prevention of AMR, along with its Ministry of Health, Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development, Ministry of Industry and Trade, and Ministry of Natural Resources and Environment, in collaboration with international organizations like WHO, FAO, and CDCs. In 2013, Vietnam has developed a national action plan on AMR and was the first country in the WHO Western Pacific region to do so. This followed the priorities outlined by the Global Action Plan, but is predominantly focused on human health. Yearly, Vietnam also conducts National Antibiotic Awareness Week in order to bring light to the unapparent problems in public health, agriculture, trade, and aquaculture. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Delegate. Delegate of South Africa, you may have the floor for 60 seconds.
Thank you, Co-Chair. Without a measurement of how extensive antimicrobial resistance is in the country, it would be impossible to guide policies and strategies to limit the development of further resistance and determine progress towards impacting on AMR. South Africa's journey on AMR started in 2011 with the publication of situation analysis highlighting the South Africa has quadruple burden of resistant infectious diseases. It pledged its commitment to the World Health Assembly resolution combating antimicrobial resistance, including antibiotic resistance, adopted in 2014 May, to develop a national action plan on AMR. In October 2014, the Minister of Health launched the National AMR Strategy Framework, which spans 10 years, 2014 to 2024, and outlines the country's plan for the management of AMR and improvement of patient outcomes. Following on closely, the World Health Assembly endorsing the Global Action Plan in 2015, South Africa developed and published an implementation plan for the AMR strategy framework to guide the implementation of strategy. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Delegate of South Africa. Delegate of Russian Federation, you may have the floor for 60 seconds.
Russian Federation approves the strategy on 31st December 2015 to prevent the spread of antimicrobial resistance in Russian Federation to 2030. Russia hosted UK Russia roundtable discussion on antimicrobial resistance, that is dialogue between two sectors, on 17 to 18 December 2015 to improve a coordinated approach between the health and livestock structure. Rome, Russia backed an FAO-led effort to promote food safety and to prevent the spread of medicine-resistant superbugs in food, on which it donated nearly $3.3 million. The Nord the Nordic Russian Corporation on Antimicrobial Resistance, financed by Nordic Council of Ministers, Russia adopted national AMR strategy in autumn 2017. Some strategies that should be adopted to fight against AMR. Studying the mechanism. Thank you. I think my time limit has already been finished.
Thank you very much, Delegate of Russian Federation. For now, may I have Delegate of Philippines?
Thank you. AMR is a national priority in Philippines. Philippines is well aware of devastating consequences of AMR and superbugs in very country. Taking this into consideration, Philippines has drafted, finalized, and mandated various health strategy to tackle AMR. So Philippines would like to draw attention in National Action Plan, which are of major importance. During the 2011 World Health Assembly, WHO endorsed the 6-point policy package as a part of global action on AMR, to which Philippines committed to during regional committee meeting in the same year. Similarly, in 2014, signing Interagency Committee on AMR guided Philippines to streamline government sectors that was held in 2014 World Health Assembly. Similarly, Philippines is also the part of Asian Network for Surveillance of Resistant Pathogen, ANSORP, which is a study group involving different countries in Asia in relation to the AMR. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Delegate of Philippines. With this, we have come to the end of this motion. Are there any motions on the floor? Yes, Delegate of Nigeria.
The delegate of Federal Republic of Nigeria would like to suspend the moderated caucus and move into an unmoderated caucus for a time period of 10 minutes.
So, Delegate, the thing is, you don't have to suspend the moderated caucus after the time end. So, you can directly talk about having an unmoderated caucus for the mentioned time periods. Could you please repeat it again?
The delegate of Federal Republic of Nigeria would like to move into a moderated caucus for a time period of 10 minutes.
So, on mode for 10 minutes.
So, Vice Chair, we have about only 7 minutes of the session remaining because at 2 o'clock our session ends. So, it is advised that you raise a motion like either you can have a moderated caucus for about 5 minutes and then end the session for today, or you can have an unmod for 5 minutes and then end the session today because it's already 1:54. Yeah, just.
So thank you, Chair, for reminding. The Vice Chair was about to change the time frame into 5 minutes as we don't have time as much as one that has been mentioned by Nigeria. Are there any other motions on the floor? Seeing none, let's proceed. Are there any motions on the floor, delegates? We take three motions at once. Seeing none, let's proceed towards voting for the motion that has been raised by delegate of Nigeria. Delegates voting for an on mode for 5 minutes, please tick mark as yes, and voting against the motion, please tick mark as no. So, delegate of Nigeria, delegate of Republic of Nepal, please clarify your voting stances. Delegate of Albania, Delegate of Indonesia. So we have 12 delegates voting for yes. With this, the motion clearly passes. So it's 1:55 now, and you'll be having an on mode for 2 p.m. sharp. And after that, we will be expecting a motion from you in order to suspend the meeting for today, adjourn the meeting so that we can meet tomorrow. The floor is all yours, delegates.
एकछिन यो सिधै बस्नुपर्छ होला यो कम्प्लिट गर्नको लागि हिजो र आजको टोटल मोडरेटेड ककसको अनि त्यसपछि चाहिँ भोलि पनि हुन्छ होला भोलिको चाहिँ त्यही दिन एड गरौँला आजको चाहिँ हिजो र आजको चाहिँ हेरिराखौँ न
यो जुम मिटिङ त अभाइलेबल हुँदैन होला नि त अब एकछिन 5 मिनट्स पछि त सो हामी छुट्टै जुम लिङ्क बनाऊँ अनि त्यस पछाडि आएर गरौँ न त आफ्टर यो सबै सेसन सकिसकेपछि
या भर्खर अब 56 भइसक्यो 4 मिनटमा त खोल्दा खोल्दै सिद्धिन्छ होला सो बरु आफ्नो जुन पोइन्ट्सहरू छ त्यो चाहिँ इन्डिभिजुअली एड गर्दै गर्नु भ्याइन्छ भने
त्यही नै गर्ने हो सबैजनाको एउटै पेपर बनाउने हो
अब त त्यही नै गर्ने
त्यही गर्ने भयो एउटै सिङ्गल पेपर
हामीले चेयरहरूलाई नोटिफाई गरेको छ कि नै त
त्यही त हो
होला गर्नुपर्छ र
अघि किनभने स्पोन्सर्स के चाहिँ धेरै हुनु पाउँदैन भन्दै हुनुहुन्थ्यो स्पोन्सर फेरि त्यो चाहिँ एकछिन नोटिफाई गर्नुपर्ने है
मैले पनि त्यही भनेको
Excuse me, chair, co-chair, कोही पनि हुन्छ न
Yes, yes, delegate, we are present here.
Can we like make a single working paper? We have planned to do that.
It's absolutely fine, but make sure that that is formatized enough as suggested by chair previously.
Yes.
Make sure that you will not skip any of the motion that has been raised, any of the important points that has been said.
Okay,
स्पोन्सर्स चाहिँ 3 जना भन्दा बढी हुन पनि पाइन्छ है
रेजोल्युसनमा ड्राफ्ट रेजोल्युसनमा चाहिँ पाइँदैन हैन सो अब हामीले ड्राफ्ट रेजोल्युसन
वर्किङ पेपरमा पनि 3 जना भन्दा बढी नराखौँ होला बिकज हाम्रो नम्बरै थोरै छ 40% हामीले 5 जना डेलिगेट स्पोन्सर दिन्थ्यौँ होला वर्किङ पेपरमा 3 टा मात्रै स्पोन्सर म्याक्सिमम
सो हामीले चाहिँ यो अहिले रेजोल्युसन ओरिएन्टेड भएर गरिरहेको छ नि त फर्मेटहरूदेखि लिएर सबै लिएर सो आई थिङ्क इट इज बेटर इफ यु नट एड मोर देन 3 स्पोन्सर्स सो तपाईँहरूले एउटै गर्नुहुन्छ भने एउटै गर्नुहोस् इफ यु फिल लाइक होइन हाम्रो त्यसमा कुरा मिलेन भने डिफ्रेन्ट गर्नुहोस् द्याट्स अप टु यु तर मेक स्योर यु फलो द गाइडलाइन द्याट हेज बिन प्रेजेन्टेड बाई द चेयर So you just have a minute remaining.
कुनै एकजनाले भाइबरमा एउटा जुमको लिङ्क पठाइदिउँ न अनि त्यस पछाडि हामी आएर फेरि छुट्टै यहाँ 2 बजे पछाडि बसेर गरौँला नि हुँदैन
हुन्छ 6 र 7 पनि एड गर्दै मैले आजको अहिले
ए ओके 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 ग्रेट
हामी जसले चाहिँ यो फाइनल ड्राफ्टमा काम गर्दै छैनौँ नि त्यसले चाहिँ त्यो अगाडिकोमा गरौँ न है छिटो हुन्छ नि अनि हाम्रो अगाडिको
Okay, so delegates, the time is over. Now we are back in the formal session. May I have a briefing of what happened in the unmoderated caucus from any one of you?
So we came to the conclusion to work more on the working paper after the session recs, and we had a short discussion on what to do for the working paper.
So the 5 minutes was all about discussion on how to make it more presentable.
Yes, it was.
Thank you very much, Delegate of Sweden. So for now, as the time frame has ended, I am expecting a motion from you people in order to adjourn meeting for the today. So delegates, are there any motions on the floor? Yes, Delegate of United Kingdom.
The delegate of United Kingdom would like to raise a motion to adjourn the session for today.
Thank you, Delegate. So are there any other motions on the floor? Delegates, are there any other motions on the floor? Seeing none, let's proceed towards voting for the motion that has been raised by Delegate of United Kingdom to adjourn the meeting session for today. Delegates voting for the motion, please tick mark as yes. Delegates voting against the motion, please tick mark as no. So delegates, you cannot remain idle. Republic of Indonesia, delegate of Thailand, delegate of Indonesia, we don't share voting stances. Deepak Acharya, could you please rename yourself with the country that you are assigned? So we have 12 voting for yes. This motion clearly passes. So the meeting is adjourned for today. We shall meet you tomorrow sharp at 10 a.m. Thank you very much, delegates.
Thank you.